our video here is testing whether Wii Sports translates to real life.
Oh, no!
It was entirely ironic.
Okay,
doing the YouTuber voice and whatnot. It was entirely ironic and intentional. But we're like, okay, guys, we're gonna play Wii Sports Resort and try and shoot these basketballs. And so like, we're little 8th grade gamers. So of course we play Wii Sports Resort. And we like fucking nail basketball. Like we do like a shooting test in that. And then we go outside. We're like, okay, now we're gonna try and actually shoot basketballs for real. And the first shot is an overhand shot.
Did you guys have to do like fairs or anything like that?
Yeah, all the time.
What kind of fair?
So 7th grade was the science fair. 8th grade was like a history book fair where you had to pick like an author and do like.
Interesting. We did his actual like history day is what it's called. The like it's nationally competitive.
Or no. 8th grade was history where you had to pick a person in history. 7th grade was science fair. I think 6th grade was the author fair. We had to pick an author and like do a bunch of like research about that person. Because everything's a competition, they made it a competition where they handed out first, second, third for each year. And me and my partner got second in the author fair, first in the science fair, and second in the history fair.
A sealed container.
That was when I stopped giving a shit.
History 7, science 8. But it was. We also had to create an invention in 8th grade, I think.
My school career peaked at the 7th grade science. Downhill from there.
And I was like, yeah, the vegetable stand.
Yeah, it was good to go.
I mean, yeah.
What was your...
I don't even think I had the science fair.
Oh, you didn't have to do it? That's not fair.
I won mine. Get fucked. It was the highlight. It was the peak of my schooling career. 7th grade science fair.
I also won mine.
I know. I am too.
We did like a bunch of egg experience, like what geometry is like best for an egg. In our last
the egg shape.
Yeah, what geometry, like how far can an egg survive?
With like the egg drops?
Yeah.
Because we did those.
We didn't do it like where we created something. We also had something like where we rolled down a hill and like what thing at the bottom could catch it best. And one of our teammates had a prosthetic leg. And for our last experiment on the board, it was like bottom right corner, super small, is we took off his leg and threw it in net. And we won. Because I think part of that was take pity on the prosthetic kid. But he was funny. He was very funny.
I just remember pissing off so many people when I was in high school because my class was required to help judge the middle school science fair. And there was this kid who just did the like DNA thing with strawberries, you know? That was the science project.
What's the DNA thing with strawberries?
We could like extract the DNA of a strawberry by going through this like with a bag and stuff.
Yeah,
or whatever.
You smash it up and then you put like Dawn dish soap or something and you shake it up and then you strain it and something about the Dawn dish soap like extracts the DNA from the strawberry and you actually like pick it up with a fucking spoon.
How do you know that?
Because I did it in
You do it in like I did it in high school, but this was like
we did it in high school. I know.
It was just like a simple experiment. But the kid like did that for his science fair, but I was like, so why is this like useful, practical, and he didn't have an answer.
Like how is this relevant?
So I was like, okay, because there's a whole category. It's like, how is this like translatable? How is this relevant? So I was like 0. I was one of his like 3 judges, and the other judges were like, why would you do that to him? And I'm like, he didn't even have an answer. Like, he had no reason that it was useful besides, like, DNA is useful in forensics. And I'm like, okay, so why is DNA useful?
We caught it, the strawberry killer.
Yeah. So for our 7th grade project, me and my boy Mike, the guy who was actually here last week, we bought, like, 3, baking soda bottle rockets, and we were tracking, like, their air time for, like, different combinations and shit. And he sent me on video a couple weeks back, I don't know, his mom found it or something, there's a video of him launching it and going up in the air as he ran away, and then it hit him.
Did you guys know, I'm sure you guys dissected frogs or something similar to that nature.
I cut open a fucking pig.
Oh, that's sick.
A
Eat a pig.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a story.
I had so many pigs.
One of my friends in high school, one of my other friends stole his calculator, like a TI-84 plus CE, like one,
Not the CE.
and just stuffed it in a bra. And our biology teacher was an entire pushover. And so like, guys, I was stealing a calculator.
That's even big, probably bigger than the
Yeah, it was like sticking out of it. It was just half wedged into it.
Dude, that calculator is probably like covered in formaldehyde.
With the pig comment, my dad always talks about how for his 21st birthday, it was like a Tuesday, and him and all of his friends still went out and got like super wasted and everything. And then he didn't realize at 8 a.m. the next morning he had to dissect a pig for his biology class. So he said that he sat like this with his head out the window because he was so hungover trying to not dissecting a pig.
I think the worst thing that happened in my high school science classes is when someone got an apple and pushed it and pierced it in the back. But like in the back of class, I think we were watching the show Bones. We were doing this like bone unit. Well, the teacher was doing work. We just were like, go, oh shit! And he's like, leaning in the back. Our teacher had so much trouble because she allowed it or whatever, it didn't stop. But it was like a whole thing where it's like, new socks in her room saying, don't fucking pierce your ears.
Why would you do that?
We cooked s'mores in my chemistry class in high school on like the little Bunsen burners. For some reason, I don't remember why.
On the strawberry unit though too, there was a sign that says, don't eat the strawberry DNA.
I had trouble in my lab last week because we were talking about eating the chemicals.
Which lab?
My organic chemistry lab.
So have I told you guys that my high school physics teacher was like child predator?
Oh,
I feel like we have talked about that.
Yeah.
Maybe us.
Yeah.
Because mine was useless in the sense that we just watched Avatar The Last Airbender. Yours was a predator.
We watch cartoons. Literally.
Mine is also similar to that, where I was in AP Physics C, which is a dual credit course, but our physics professor, for the first half of the year before he was outed as a predator, was entirely depressed. And so what he did, he got like, there were like 5 of us in the class, he got 5 drones, just every class period, we would just go out into the hall and play with the drones.
So I had him actually when I was in high school, but this was last year. My sister got the same like algebra teacher, got arrested last year for a hit and run that killed like 3 people because there were multiple cars all like racing up in Omaha and he was one of them, and like some huge accident happened. Molly, I remember her texting me, was like, so it turns out we know why ex-teacher has been gone for the past 2 weeks. It's because he's in jail for a bunch of shit.
I think
it's like, goddamn, I loved him as a teacher too. It was frustrating. I loved the dude.
My worst teacher was a 6th grade science class. And first day of school, she was reading off every name, and she goes, Cole Clausen. And I'm like, here. She's like, oh, would you happen to be related to Chris, Zach, or Alex Clausen? And I was like, yeah, they're my brothers. That was a fucking mistake.
Oh.
Literally, her response was, oh, I see. Duly noted. And instantly I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. Like literally 2 months into school, where she's doing a presentation and someone is trying to talk to me, and I turned around and I said, hey, can you shut the fuck up? And I turned around and she's like, hey Cole, can you come to my desk? And it's not like I said it loud enough for her to hear, so I was like, great, the fuck did I do this time? And I walked up to her desk and she's like, hey, I need you to not talk in my class, you're disrupting class. And I was like, I was telling him to be quiet. And he walked up to the desk and tried to, like, defend me. And she was like, okay, if you want to defend him, you can have. They were called think sheets. She was like, you can have a think sheet, too. And he's like, never mind. And then she didn't give him a think sheet. She just let him walk away. Even though he admitted that he was the problem. So on the think sheet, it says, "What did you do wrong?" I wrote nothing.
Exonerate Cole.
And I handed it to her, and she looked at it, and she's like, "You know, I have to tell the principal about this." And I'm like, "Okay, go for it." And the next day, I get called down to the principal's office, and the principal was like, "This isn't funny. Like, you can't write that. Like, you have to treat this seriously." I was like, "I was," and I explained the whole situation. She ripped it up in front of me, threw it in the trash, and then this teacher never talked to me ever again. I passed her class with an A, but she never interacted. She, like, even when she asked the class questions, and I was the only person who raised my hand, she wouldn't call on me. She refused to talk to me.
What a bitch.
I remember
Was it in like high school then?
This 6th grade!
I know
I was
Charlie
like
gets
fucking 10!
Chuck gets a bunch of love from like all of his teachers because of Molly. Right? They knew who I was, but they didn't give a shit who I was. Molly is so great.
I didn't realize you meant Molly the name.
What?
I did not, for a second, I did not realize you meant Molly the name.
Oh.
The teachers are Molly!
Chuck could do it. Molly.
Give me a second. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Little sister's Molly, little brother's Chuck.
Yeah.
And there's Brad.
And Brad.
You know, for Catholics, it's not very Catholic names.
I'm named after my mom's childhood best friend who died when they were in middle school. My sister is named after my mom's great-great-aunt. And my little brother is Charles, named after my dad's grandpa.
Wow. The origins of my name are, my mom wanted to name me Kale. But then when I came out of the womb, my hair was jet black. So she was like, "Oh, he looks like a Cole." And then she was like, "But I don't want to spell it with a C. I want him to be different." So she spelled it Cole with a K. That's the origin of my name.
She should have named you Cole as in C-O-A-L.
Hey, it's better with a K, okay? The K sound is better. I'm not biased, I promise. My dad is Christopher with a K, the way it should be.
My dad is
spelled.
Carl with a K.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I've met one other Cole ever with a K, and it was some dude who came, like, ordered online at Pepper Jack.
I've met multiple Coles with a K.
And his name was Cole with a K, and I was like, "Holy shit, is your name Cole with a K?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, you're the first other Cole with a K I have met in literally 19 years.
When I went to
alive.
preschool, there were like 4 Coles there who all spelled their name differently.
What the fuck?
For having the most...
Kohl, Kolecole.
K-H?
Yeah, Kohl's, like the store?
It's
Oh,
K-O-H.
K-O.
No, it's K.
It's K-O-H-L, I'm pretty sure.
I understood it as you say K-H-O-L.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. Sorry,
That's
my
what he said.
brain.
And I was like, that's like the Egyptian eye makeup, isn't it?
Yeah.
For having
Anthropologists to be like.
For having such a stereotypical name, I've met one other Brad in my entire life.
And a Chad.
I've met a Chad, but I've met... Yes, his name is Chad.
Brad is like an 80s name.
But it's such like a stereotypical white guy name, and I've only met one other one.
Are you not a stereotypical white guy?
I am, bro. I'm okay with this.
He's a literal background character.
Yeah, my name is entirely legacy, based off my father and his father before him, and oh my god, his father before him.
Robert the Third.
Robert, son of Robert.
I mean, my middle name is my dad's name.
My grandfather was actually named after his father too, they just didn't do Junior, for some reason.
Me and Caleb's
You
middle
use
names are
Junior?
both my dad's middle names.
No.
I don't
My dad has 2 of them.
Why would I use Junior? I'm a third.
Andrew.
I don't know how it works!
Caleb is Frederick.
Well,
my dad's middle name is
my grandfather,
Charles Andrew
Robert Taylor the
Frederick.
First, is technically Robert Taylor
Charles
the Second, but he's never called him that.
Because he's
And so my dad was Robert Taylor the
Really
Second.
fourth,
technically.
Middle names. My brother Chris is.
But legally, no.
too.
Can I start calling you Andy?
You
No.
legally have to be like the
I mentioned
third.
that to Javier the other day. I was like, maybe I should go.
I guess
like,
that is an
tell
option
him my
on
middle
things.
name. And like everyone at the shop was,
Yeah.
you don't look like an Andrew.
Yeah. So I think
I could
still
be
going on
Chris.
legal documents, by the way.
Yeah,
It could be a Chris.
I
I could be a Ben or a Ben
account for it.
Hansick.
So
Not Benny. You could be Ben.
I could be a Ben. You could be an Andy or an Andrew.
Yeah.
I could go by Chris.
I once failed a background check because I put Taylor III in the last name because they didn't have a suffix category, but because under legally Taylor is my last name and my suffix is the third, it's always different. There's no consistency between what they want, and so I had to do it again.
That's why.
What's your middle name?
Anthony.
What's your middle name?
Anne.
Anne. So we got a Chris, we got a Ben, we got an Andrew, we got an Anthony, we got an Ann.
That's too many Anns.
Too many A's.
It's all the first two letters of the same.
Okay, so then we've got an Ann, we've got Robert, we've got Andrew, Ben, and Chris.
Well, technically, I'm the third.
The third.
You can also just call me Rat.
Rat?
Robert Anthony Taylor.
Oh, right.
Just go by your last name.
No, that's not right. It's Rat the Third.
Mine's Cat.
Just go by last name.
Sir Nathaniel the Third.
Go Big Red are my initials.
I don't mind going by my last name. We didn't like every
Really?
sport I played.
Yeah, I went by Boston for the entire first year.
I
My
almost
dad
went by
went-
Anthony, and then my dad said no.
My dad went by Kimmy for most of high school because there were so many other Chris's.
Yeah.
So he just went by Kimmy.
Yeah.
With Nathan, we had a bunch of Nathans. We had like 3 or 4 Nathans. Didn't we?
I think we had like one Nathan.
No, there was at least 2 because there was that other guy who joined
Named
from a
Nathan.
different school who was like senior year.
We should probably play the game.
Yeah,
I
we
think that guy's name was Nathan.
I got nowhere to be at for this. I guess.
I
I'm
do
like,
have
we'll
nowhere
start
to
with
be.
No. Cameron. That's what it
We
was.
had a bajillion.
We did have a bajillion. Cameron. Sorry, I had Cameron and Nathan.
Cameron was a K. I've only
Well,
had evil
I can't
Cameron
read
K.
him.
We did call Nathan not by his name, so that's just
White crime.
White crime. Yeah.
Called him white crime.
Yeah.
Well, when he first came to our high school, he immediately started hounding the football team about whether or not they had heard a song called White Crime and how great it was.
I thought he was just white and like.
No, but he was like, he was either homeschooled or he went to like a really.
He went to my school,
Yeah.
which had been a very small Christian school out in the cornfields.
They send him out.
Yeah. There
It's
was
literally in a cornfield.
There was one kid in my high school freshman year who had like very bad anger issues, and like some girl at lunch angered him, and so he like stood up, yelled at the top of his lungs, "I'm gonna fucking kill you and rape you!" And oh my god! I immediately expelled.
Oh my god!
Yeah, understand.
We had someone grab another kid over a cinnamon roll at lunch with a fork.
We had a kid get pissed off at another kid, and they fought in like one of the bathrooms. So both got suspended, and then one of them broke into a whole bunch of people's cars like over the next week while he was suspended. He was like stealing people's shit. Then he got expelled.
My brother got expelled because it was implied he had a hit list. It was because he told the other kid, you know what, fuck you, you're next on my list. That's like the extent of what it was. It wasn't even like an extended threat.
Expelled for that?
It was like, he has to go seek like, he can come back after he's been through like therapy. To, like,
Oh, so
address
he
his
was
anger
like,
issues.
what's the word?
But my parents were like, fuck that, he didn't really do anything.
Fair enough.
So, he
I knew a
was
guy-
homeschooled for his last year of 8th grade.
I knew a guy who was a wannabe cop, and he brought his handcuffs to school and handcuffed another kid to a light bulb.
That's funny.
Well, since the second guy was giving him a bunch of shit, like, you're not a real cop, those aren't even real handcuffs, I'm sure you can break out of them easily. And the first guy was like, alright, you're off fine now. He put him in a light bulb and left.
Fake handcuffs you can't break out of easily.
Some fake.
I knew both of them, and they were both stupid as shit, but it was so funny.
Fake ass handcuffs.
Because I remember, like, the next day, I had a teacher ask me if I knew anything about it. I was just like, I know the guy.
I know who they are.
Yeah, those yee ass handcuffs.
Brings the fucking fluffy kink cuffs.
No, not again.
I think that is a good ending point. So that we can actually
Start D&D.
gather here today.
Ding the D's.
For our loss.
Why are you talking about it as if we're at church?
We are.
Sunday morning, Robert.
Yeah.
This is what I do instead of going to church with my parents.
You are truly a godless man.
This is okay. I'd rather be here.
And they're feeling
God's and Phelan. And this is where I currently reside.
Okay. Let's see. Where did we leave off last time?
You said
We
you
got
were getting attacked, but not by. You gave us no context as to what.
I said you were supposed to be attacked, and I don't know if
We were in the hot air balloon.
that or not. So yeah, that's the point. Do you guys just want to like through all the
It
shit?
depends on how your time schedule is running and how far behind we are.
Oh, I'm taking a gap year now, so.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I didn't know you had confirmed on that or not.
Well, I kind of need time to apply for schools and study for the entrance exam, of which I will have none.
Oh, like between graduation and
Yeah.
grad school?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing like gap year between junior and senior year. So you're
That would make
That would be horrible.
No. People always
I-
do gap years after they. I guess they don't only.
No, I have a friend who did a gap year between freshman and sophomore year.
No. I'm sticking around for a year post grad, and then I'll
I see.
go off to ship myself off to school. So we got a whole other year.
That is,
Unless you guys move away.
I don't know where I'm going.
it's probable I'll move away, but not guaranteed.
Okay. Well,
I will hate you forever.
Yeah.
you got a lot to enjoy.
How about you all just follow
Yeah.
me? Why do I have people to follow you?
Alright, we're all moving to Omaha.
Nope.
Make my life
I'm
easier.
moving out of state. Sorry, what?
You got a lot of moving.
I might be going to Alberta, Canada, so like
Why can't? Why Alberta?
that's where my partner is going to grad school.
Oh. Wow.
Solid.
Sounds good.
That's far away.
Alberta's nice. I've been there.
No, it's very nice. Edmonton though, so it's like the city and not.
I know a lot of the Canadians were complaining about the local government there, but I don't know if they do.
Alberta is the Texas of Canada, as I've been told. But I also went to the Build-A-Bear in Edmonton, and she was like, "Oh, you're from the United States. Well, at least you're not from Georgia or like Florida." And she just started listing off like the states. She was like, "I didn't want to assume, but based on your hair color," and I was like, "Bro, what?" I was typed as a lib. I don't think this is very
Well, okay.
Imagine going somewhere and they're like, "Oh, well, at least you're not from," and they start singing the Animaniacs and the country song.
Well, are you not a lib?
She was literally like, "I feel safe complaining about shitty U.S. legislation because you're clearly not a Republican."
What's that Will Smith?
None of the Canadians I know were like that.
Yeah. What's that Will Smith meme? Like, oh, just because I don't have colored hair doesn't mean I'm a lib. I mean, I am a lib.
But not because I don't have COVID hair.
Okay. You're not allowed to move out until we finish the campaign.
This is a threat.
We will actually be getting it.
I will fly back every weekend for
Robert making his comp sci. What is it called? When you get money?
Grants?
No, it's like salary. His computer science salary. He's like, yeah, I can afford to fly back every weekend.
Do computer science majors even call it comp sci?
well, I'm not a comp sci.
You're software engineering, but it's like the same thing.
Oh, they're like this. All right.
Yeah, all technology and fucking jobs are basically the same.
Yeah.
The only difference is I have actual real world experience for 3 years. Actually, technically 4 years. 'Cause I had an internship for all freshman year. But that's the point. Software engineering comes integrated with like actual work experience. We work on open source stuff and work with real ass companies to do real work. So I have
Real ass companies to do real ass work.
I have a ton of stuff to put on my resume, and so it's very easy to
Enjoyers.
get internships at the moment. And after college, it'll be very easy for me to get jobs.
That's good. Good.
And also, I don't know how familiar you guys are with programming, but there's a site called GitHub, which is like incredibly vital. Seniors of computer science go into a senior design class, which is basically just 1 year of what software engineers have been doing. A lot of senior comp sci students don't know what GitHub is or how to use it.
What the fuck?
They are entirely apparently they are like always entirely like concept based. It's like work with like one file at a time and then submit it to like fucking Camden.
That's a weird workflow.
Yeah, and that's what I'm very happy I chose.
Computer sciences is so disorganized because there's
yeah.
so many fucking majors.
Yeah.
Okay,
They don't evenly like give time to anyone.
I did not mean to go on a tangent there, but
No, comp sci was moved to engineering now, right?
if you are graduating in 2026 or later, I believe. Or so like if you start your degree in 2022 or later.
You know, we used to call coal open source back in high school. Okay. I just needed to get that out of my system.
Why coal? At least make fun of Kenneth when he's not here.
Well, usually I say they used to call me open source. Or like, you used to call me whatever.
What's that even? What are you actually like men?
You sound like RT talking about how the drift came back in college.
Yeah, I thought I'd be a little subversive today and say something else. I couldn't change the joke back to me if you don't.
No,
I don't care. I thought it was funny, but I don't know what that implies.
Well, that's the funny part.
I can't wait for Gabe to go like, you know, they used to call me the Dungeon Master back in college.
They actually called me that in high school.
Yeah.
We call you it now.
Yeah, you got that title.
Usually, they also called me Daddy back in the
Dungeon Daddy.
That's for different reasons. That was in choir.
Dungeon Daddy. There you
Choir
go.
Daddy.
Yeah, that's what they called me. I was the bass section leader, so.
I was gonna guess that it was something related to being a bass.
Yeah.
Based.
Okay, let's start. So, you are all in a bunch of hot air balloons floating over the sea to the lost kingdom of Elhore. I do believe that there are you and
Is
your
that a new tattoo?
No, this is...
There's a fireworks starting now, don't you understand? Okay, talk about your tattoo and then we're starting.
I just found
Just
this
the one.
container, by the way.
I don't
God,
remember.
I
don't know how
you
No,
stole
I-
it from me. I
got
had
this
this for like
the
2
week
months.
after, so like we hung out, I got it that following week, but we haven't seen you guys since I got it.
Okay.
'Cause it's only like two weeks old.
Wait,
Well, I guess I
The
missed
funny thing was that Kevin was lying to it for a whole weekend.
We played games with Kyle for like a few hours, and it took the following week when he got home drunk as shit. I was talking to Mike, and he was like, "Oh my God, where'd you get a tattoo?"
I'll probably get a tattoo when I graduate.
Of what?
Balls.
Right on the chin.
I have a few ideas. One, but I thought about starting off. It's not too simple, but it's basically like a coiled iron band, and I have it wrapped around my arm.
So,
Another one was a Eastern style dragon that's basically just a sleeve down my shoulder.
it was hilarious.
Are there sentimental attachments?
No.
The coil would be, the dragon would not.
One of my friends actually, the Thursday before, and I hadn't seen him over that weekend. We hung out the following weekend. Got a like yin and yang right here of a black dragon and a white dragon for it. And ironically, one of my uncles got his first tattoo on the same day and the same time as I got mine.
Yeah. I also thought about maybe getting a semicolon, which is the like suicide awareness.
Mhm.
Not. Yeah.
So,
Wait.
he cut me with the razor blade though, shaving my arm. So I had that to start. Oh yeah, no, it's just scarred.
How did you feel the pain was?
Very tolerable. I mean, it felt like getting a flu shot just over and over again.
Yeah.
So like,
The sleeve that's like this on
I
arm.
was not comfortable. I definitely wouldn't call it therapeutic or anything like some of my friends have, but
What is that?
it was very tolerable. The eye hurt the most when he just like held it there waiting for it to like fill in.
Full of like little Easter
But I'm not a
eggs
huge
and
fan of needles, so I was like,
me neither.
so I was staring at the ceiling. I was
And
staring at
then
the
his
ceiling.
other
He would turn away to get more ink out and look where it's at. Then I would go back to the ceiling when she
We've
was
got
starting again.
Where'd you
three
go?
sections of
Iron brush.
that look like they
Over
Oh, you have
like
to
13th
like a
Street.
cross
Yeah, I follow a lot of tattoo artists because like
Yeah, no, it's got
like
ones
financially,
with zeros, it's got binary.
And
Mine
What do you think
wasn't
of
too
this
bad. It was
Crazy
300.
Yeah.
how long were you waiting to
Well,
see that?
when
I literally had the idea
the
just now, and I was like,
consultation, it's like $7 deposit.
But no, the
and
binary
it's just,
actually
total will probably be 3 to 5.
spells out me,
So I brought
Caleb, and
500
all of his
expecting that.
birthdays
And it
in
was
binary,
like, we're gonna do it minimum.
which is like several hundreds of
I appreciate it.
on each arm.
But no, then for like the first week, it just felt like a bad sunburn.
alright, for real this time.
Yeah, it's like
Okay, sorry, I will not interrupt Gabe.
The like plastic wrap that Jason
Yeah.
puts on his. Fuck your mom.
Oh my god, Gabe, the left side of your hair longer than the right side?
It is actually.
Yeah, well, I was trying to distract us. And
That's why I've been waiting to.
Gotta go with the captain's shirt.
What?
The Captain's Chair downtown is actually a very good barber shop.
But they cut longer hair?
I mean, yeah.
How much for a cut?
Probably the standard $18,
Okay.
which is pretty standard for haircuts.
Yeah.
It's like $20 at cost cutters, which is fucking wild. Cost cutters is supposed to be cheap,
Yeah, it used to be
And-
way cheaper.
and people like still think of like, oh, it's cost cutters, it's cheaper. Almost all like small barber shops are cheaper than cost cutters.
You should get great clips.
Don't.
Don't do that.
I've wasted so much money at Great Clips on shitty haircuts.
Why did you go to great clips?
I'm sure if I asked my mom, she would cut your hair.
We can come back to this later.
How about I cut your hair?
We did start playing.
We each cut a lock of Peter's hair.
We did a quarter.
We're not witches.
What do you like playing Russian roulette with his hair? You're like, you should take a snip.
Play with my hair. Okay, we're gonna start.
We're in the hot air balloon.
You're all in 2 hot air balloons. I would think it's you and your father, and you and Animus, and then it's you and Lissa and Kyrie, and you and Softloss, correct?
Yes, we're on the one with Animus.
You're on the one with Animus?
Yeah.
No, Softloss.
No, because we are not on the same one, because there's something we wanted to talk about, but we weren't.
No, right, this and that.
Yeah, because we wanted to talk together, because Animus is making arguments against his own subordinates' arguments.
Yes, we are having two completely, like, the same conversation from different sides, but you and I were on opposite balloons.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are on the balloons, the helium balloons.
The compass.
And yeah, you are flying up over the Sea of Storms to get to Elhore because it is not safe to sail because it's stormy. So you're above the cloud layer. There's a large blanket of like little blanket of little. God.
You've had an hour.
You're not helping.
I can say I was.
There's like a low gray blanket of clouds below you. There's little lightning strikes every now and then, but it's quiet above the cloud line. You had been speaking for a little while when you started the journey, but I believe that you are all quiet at the moment. Did anyone want to say anything?
I mean, we've already had all our deep conversations that have mostly been forgotten about over the course of a month, but
25 regularly looks over, gets nervous about falling, and then goes back to looking ahead.
So how long is the trip total, and how long have we been here?
You should get to Elhore very, very early in the morning of the second day.
Mm-hmm.
And you have been up here for maybe 4 hours, so you're getting close to like sundown in a few hours.
Okay. And Kenji reasons pretty quickly that he can't sit on top of it like a train.
You need like the equations flying across space.
Yeah. Well, if I actually run across the sides long enough, I can create a centrifugal motion, and
then we become a fucking helicopter.
Or is it more of a top as you spiral down?
Yeah. That me touching the balloon at all results in us falling to the earth.
Yeah. Well, balloons literally work by troll physics, so. Mm-hmm. Hot air in a bag? Yeah, right.
Yeah, thanks.
Can cover yourself in
So, refresh me on where are we going?
You're going to the Lost Kingdom.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That is
across the sea.
You are going there because Animus supposedly knows about a legend about some artifact called the Kingmaker, which gave Elhoran kings of old sight beyond sight, the ability to predict the future. And to him, that sounds a lot like a cog. So, you're going to Elhore to investigate.
Cog.
Animus at the moment is like, he's got his arms crossed behind his back, he's very straight postured, and he's just like looking out over the cloud layer.
Towards Elhore.
Sure, you can't see it from here because you're above the cloud layer, but then in that general direction, Kyrie seems to be focusing as intently as she can on not burning the wicker baskets down. Softloss is apparently like whittling something with like a knife. Lissa appears to be pretending to sleep or actually sleeping. It's hard to tell. Cahill is he's doing like the Shinji pose on the chair. Yeah. So. And I assume the rest of you are all just standing around or doing whatever.
I would prefer to be sitting.
You're all sitting around or doing
Thank you.
whatever.
I prefer to be handstanding.
You're all sitting or handstanding around and doing whatever.
I would like to ask Cahill a question.
He's right there.
Hey, Cahill.
He kind of like tilts his face half up towards you.
Have you been back here since you left?
No.
Is there any information you can remember about Elhore that might come in handy? I know it's been a long time.
He looks nervously at the other balloon where Animus is, and then kind of tilts his head back to you and says, "Nothing worth investigating."
Can I roll insight on that?
You can.
Because I don't trust that shit. Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah, first roll of the day is 17.
Your father's difficult to read, but you just have this gut feeling that he's hiding something.
I'll keep that information for now.
In fact, his whole body has been nothing but tense ever since you left for Elhore. You knew him before he became this. And he was always kind of an anxious person, but...
This is different.
Yeah.
This isn't like a paranoid anxious. This is a...
He looks like poised, ready to strike, but like frozen in fear at the same time, like the way that like a small animal acts.
Flight and fight are going off at the same time.
Yeah.
Why did you leave Elhore? You never told me as a child.
Every decision I've ever made has been for my sons. I need you,
And he actually looks up at you now.
I need you to trust me on this.
I hope you understand. I find it very hard to trust you.
He looks down.
Because the last thing I remember about you was you abandoning your only sons and not giving us any way to defend ourselves.
It's not that simple.
Well, you're not explaining it, so to me it is that simple.
I couldn't.
And he takes his...
How could I have returned? I died. And I became this.
You could have done something.
I'm not fit to be your father.
It just sounded like you didn't try hard enough. And then I'm gonna end the conversation and I'm gonna just turn and walk away. I'm done with this conversation at this point. Alistair is actually upset.
Like actually visibly upset.
Visibly is displeased by the way that this conversation is gone, and he's gonna walk away. He's done.
I do the awkward friend like pat on the back as like you walk over to like my side of the balloon away from him.
Alistair is so like concentrated on what he's thinking about, no acknowledgement of
You do the Baymax, there.
Pat you with your bones crack. Okay.
Pat's once he gets launched off the side.
Pat.
Anything else that is after this besides brood?
No,
the night?
he's gonna be a broody little bitch here for a little bit.
Hours pass in the air balloons. The warm sunlight turns to cold night air. It's, again, very, very, I don't know what the word to say this, but it's very ominous almost, because the moon is like, it's like right up here, you guys are like right here.
The moon is falling!
I can make the jump.
This ain't Mario Galaxy, brother.
Let me be a star real quick. Let me be a warp star.
It's kind of dread-inducing, having this symbol of disaster hang above your heads, but it's also strangely beautiful. because you can see it in such exquisite detail that you can't anywhere else. It's a mixed feeling. As the balloons continue forward into the night, you see something odd in the distance.
Is it a man on the moon?
There is a break in the storm below you. You seem to be approaching the eye of the storm. As you kind of head to this way, Nimbus, you note that Animus becomes like less sort of like thoughtfully gazing off into the distance and more focused on something ahead of you. In the break of the storm, there is a small circle, maybe about a mile wide, of perfectly calm, like clear water. And as you pass over it, you see something that is almost very inexplicable. It looks like a very tall series of buildings below the surface of the water, but the image shimmers and like shakes. It's very odd.
Do the rest of us see this?
Yeah, everyone does.
Do I have any recollection of what this might be?
No.
Never heard any stories of an underwater city or anything like that?
No.
I think it's more likely a flooded city.
Cahill. And I just like fucking point my head over the edge of the basket. You seen this?
No, I have not.
Huh.
You two, you have high wisdom, right?
Oh yeah.
Something about this image looks off.
Almost like a recap.
Like illusory off? Like illusory off, or
Like, it doesn't quite look flooded to you, despite the image being underwater.
Is it more like a reflection?
Roll perception.
Yo, this gives me the Golden Compass vibes.
Look up.
Where there's two cities in the Aurora Borealis.
That's a 27.
Oh,
You like snap your fingers and say, "Aha!"
It's a reflection.
It's a reflection. And you can tell because that's what the dancing light is from the shifting water.
Mm-hmm.
And just around the image, you see what looks like the sort of frame, just barely visible, of moonscape surrounding this tower.
the city on the moon.
There's a city on the fucking moon.
can
we not see it?
You see nothing but the moon.
It's like a very powerful.
Can we like cross-reference the moon terrain to where it would be?
Roll intelligence.
Oh, this is a good one. 0.
Kenji says this out loud, and someone more capable of handling the situation does it.
And she's like, what if we looked at the moon and tried to figure out where that city is?
And then he goes, no, that would never work. And then you go, well, actually, I think that would work.
That's impossible. No mortal would make
The
that.
only reason Kenji
I'm
can't
the
do
most
it
intelligent.
is because he looks at the image and he looks at the moon, and there's no tower on the moon, so this must be wrong.
I guess I'll try it. I think I have the highest intelligence, though.
I have a +1
Yeah.
intelligence.
Technically, however, you have the same modifier.
18.
This is weird because you see something very, very odd within this image. You see a recap.
Oh no, it wasn't me! I tried to take it for you!
You may ask for help.
I tried to tank it.
So last session started with us coming out of the loop, or coming out of the clock tower, right?
No.
No, we talked to Animus in
The
bar with
Elhore.
which is owned
They
by
called me
a
in high
family
school?
member of Schulzen's.
Me when Animus accesses my leaky hole.
Let's continue with the recap.
But then he makes a deal with us that we're going to help him get the cog from the Lost Kingdom of Elhore. and then we have to source. We had to go up to the monk place.
The monk place.
I don't remember what it's called.
Towson.
Yeah, Towson. We had to go to Towson Lawn because that's where the balloons were that were going to take us to Elhore. And while we were in Towson Lawn, we picked up Kyrie. She was like roaming around and actually talking to people.
Mm-hmm. She went outside. She's like, I had the weirdest dream, guys.
We all died. We all
Your dad was there.
Yeah.
We all fucking died.
Yo, my dad was there. And Kenny beat the shit out of him for some reason.
Boy neck face.
Dude, Kenny committed assault.
And
He's
then,
not a government official.
dude, we got into. We got the Blinch. Or no, I went with Cahill to look for the guy who could imbue weapons with Solarite, but he wasn't taking orders.
We got on the train?
We took the train.
We took the train to the bottom of the mountain, and then we had to ride.
I remember the train arc.
We saw that contract.
The train hour of roleplay.
Mugen?
Mugen.
We got super.
Do we still have that contract to Morgul for the?
Yes.
I tried to figure out what the fuck is going on with Animus. Poorly.
He talks.
He's an asshole. I don't like him.
That's okay.
Softboss was delusional. That's the conclusion.
I was gonna say, we all got followers. I got my dad. You got Softboss, who is a fucking unit.
He's a zealot.
I love it.
He is a unit compared to everybody but 25.
Yeah, Robert got his sister.
Well, I have
you got
Animus.
Oh, you got Animus. That's right. There's another.
Did you want to see Liz?
Wait, it was like the bitchy one?
There she is. Sick.
Wasn't there like a spider person?
That's it.
Oh, that is.
She's the porcelain doll.
No, the spider person is someone else.
You think of Nyx.
Yeah. She's like the one who enhances magic casting.
Yeah.
Interesting, but yeah, we all got followers to help us in combat.
Softboss wishes he was me.
I think that's about everything important.
Then we got on the balloon.
Then we had like a 30-minute debate class.
Yeah, you were also on the Gormakina mobile base, which is just a train.
That was the train you were
retrofitted. So.
We have 4 cogs right now or 5?
You should have 4. 4, I think.
Yeah. And Gormakina has 3. We're going after 1. And so that would be in.
Yeah, you have 4. Gormakina is 3. You have 1 known location, and then there is 1 unknown.
Yeah.
For 9.
And then we know that we know at least 2 Gormakina's cogs are in Morgul and.
You know where all of them are.
Do we know where the last one is?
You know there's 1 in Morgul. You know there's 1 in the train, and you know that there's 1 in Frosty, which you walked into the dungeon and then turned away from.
Left. Wait, the train.
Yeah, there's a cog in the train. It's the engine.
Oh, okay.
And then the unknown one is in Elhore.
There's a nice unknown one that no one knows where.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because
Faust has it.
Yeah, if we numbered it, the one in Elhore is cog number 5.
Okay.
Cog number 5!
Cog number 6 through 8 are Morgul, the train, and Frosty.
Right.
Number 9 is Faust.
Yeah. And
if he had cog, why would he be in jail?
Because he is a sneaky bastard.
When Faust has the cog in his own flesh and forces to release him in order to end the loop.
Okay.
We have to carve open Faust to end the loop.
Dissect him.
That's enough recap. As per your intelligence check, you look at the very, very subtle. Would you roll an 18?
Yeah.
Okay. The very, very subtle framing of this image, you can barely make out where you think it's supposed to be on the moon. If you were to take a flare gun and shoot directly upwards, that is not where it would be, which is the odd thing. If you were to trace a line across the moon surface, wherever this image would be per the craters, looks like it would be over Crosstide, the central city.
Oh my god, that's the epicenter of the impact point.
Do these buildings
Can you
look
afford
like the
those
buildings from Crosstide?
That's probably
No.
tough.
There's like a parallel set of adventurers on the moon trying to stop the moon from crashing into the planet.
No, it's gonna. It's gonna.
That's
it's
actually
gonna
what your character arc is later with all your newly made characters. It's the moon people.
The moon arc.
people?
It's gonna.
This whole campaign is the moon arc.
The moon arc.
The being on the moon arc.
The
What do you
being
call it?
arc.
Luna people?
I think that's the final boss fight, is on the moon.
You know,
We fight
you can only use the fierce deity, and that's on the moon.
We fight the moon.
We fight the moon. I rolled to hit the moon.
You missed.
Attack the moon! Destroy all your spell cards!
I'm
not picked on the moon!
I'm going to use a spinning axe kick to knock the moon 30 feet back in the air and perpetually prevent it from hitting the earth.
Well, if you knock the moon out of orbit, I think that will have disastrous consequences.
It's already out of orbit.
Instant clap.
It's on a decaying orbit.
I like to think that this whole time, 25 is trying to ignore all the Vietnam flashbacks as we're approaching Elhore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Alright.
You and my dad, man.
Like,
Do you want to turn in?
Like,
Is the moon in the atmosphere right now?
Yeah.
Could you turn into a bird and go there?
You will burn alive.
You would have the phoenix.
You ever seen a phoenix before?
What if you were a bird?
What if I turn?
I minor illusion a phoenix, so
And
she has
I
now
have
seen.
20
What if you were a bird with fire immunity?
I will minor illusion a phoenix, so you have seen
okay.
one and now can turn into one.
That's not how that works.
I will minor illusion the stat sheet of a phoenix.
You just can't minor illusion your own OC and then have to do it wild. That's not how it works.
I
You think I had no abilities? I just need the appearance.
I'm gonna minor illusion my persona.
Yeah, this is my persona, Gabe the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Stop. Please.
Hey, you
That's a
know
fun game to play, actually. Put your name in the hedgehog in Google and
Yeah.
see your Sonic OC is.
Kenji's a beast. You can turn into Kenji. Kenji is morbidly a beast.
Okay. Any other comments or interactions with this whole moon shit?
I'm gonna throw a rock at the calm water. Just like drop it.
You are very high above the water.
I know. I want to see if I can even see
You
it.
don't hear a clink or
Obviously.
ripples. You're too far away.
Okay. Well.
Kenji will spike her up and make a big splash. And surely that
If you've been
will.
watching Haikyuu.
Yeah.
He tosses the rock just to spike it.
Kenji gets anime beamed into his head every time.
Cool. Hey, you know Tashimana canonically has manga.
What?
I went on a tirade, like on session 2 of the campaign, how there was something called manga written on stone tablets in Tashimana.
I'll have to get back to the recording. Fact check. Patriots.
Readers think you should have this added content. Robert made this up.
Yeah.
It's just like Frosty Wipeout. We
Yeah.
all have our like
Head case.
first
I will do it for you by lying.
Okay.
Source, I made it.
Any other things to address this thing in front of us?
Do you want to try to fly to the moon?
I don't think it's gonna work.
How do you probably work for me? I fly to the moon.
We keep going.
Move on.
They talk about this as our balloons are still shifting away from it.
Yeah, this is good.
You actually watch as Animus takes out like a box with like a light in it. He presses a button, there's a flash,
You took a
and then
picture.
he puts it away.
That's one! What the fuck was that?
I'm on the other balloon.
Yeah. I what the hell was that? A flash ring?
Have you ever seen a Pictobox before?
What is a pictobox?
He carries it around and he pulls a crank and a leaf of paper pops out of the box. And there's the exact same image that you saw beneath you on the paper.
Oh, that's a good painting.
That's a good painting.
Well,
That's
it's not a painting per se. It's a snapshot. It's as if you were to take your mind's eye image and to project that on the paper.
What?
It's not magic either.
That's physics.
So you like paint and ink or?
We're going nowhere. He puts the picto box away, and then he.
Wait, let me see it. Is there like a little man in here that's like painting?
No, there's not a little man inside. It's quite simple. There's a small hole here. The lens projects the light onto film in the back of the box, and that light develops the image onto the film.
Kenji, you know if somebody punches you really hard, you get a bruise?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that light bruises the paper with an image.
So I could bruise myself with light.
Well, no. I mean, maybe.
For Marlon's analogy, still a dumbass.
It's really not important how it works, just that it does work.
So I could tattoo the sky on my back with light.
In a way, yes.
Here, and he takes it out, he takes a picture of you, and then hands it to you.
You know a photo of yourself.
Kenji going,
That's the move!
See? It's not magic.
I can't detect magic.
you can't.
I try really hard.
It fails.
Kenji's like sniffing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm done with that bit. I'm done.
We decided to move on then, I suppose. Back across the eye of the storm, it is now nearing close to midnight. The storms beneath you have begun to grow wild. You think you see shapes moving within the clouds.
It almost looks
Hey, Chelsea, can you influence these wild storms at all?
Well, I don't really think I could.
With a pickle, perhaps?
Good impression.
Perhaps you could do it.
Oh, I can do like that.
Well, I don't really think I could, actually.
Better impression, thank you.
Yeah.
Can I use storm spell to like anti-storm, so you know, like interference?
Anti-storm. I got anti-storm.
What spell are you going to use?
I have a few different. Isn't Maelstrom like a
That
storm
creates
thing?
a storm.
Yeah, but like, what if it's like an interference? So I
Well,
would
what do you do? Like Superman rotates the...
Her storm encapsulates this storm so that she can dispel it and remove
It's
both.
Oh, it's like interference sound, you know? You
Yeah,
have
but-
like the perfect pitch. I have like the perfect opposite
Okay.
storm.
How about you have, like,
And
wind
there's a
spell?
net zero.
I know how destructive interference works. I don't think that weather constitutes...
Do you have any like wind spell?
Wind wall.
I do have
I feel like a...
Furthermore, for Maelstrom, the point must be on ground or in a body of water. Which I could be stretched to say that a cloud is a body of water, but...
Because it's a fluid.
Thanks. Good one. Funny, man. You really got him.
Fuck.
You know, I'm a body of water because I have water in me.
Some of those shapes look a little familiar. Like... sky fish.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say like what we saw in Tashanon.
Well, I can walk on the clouds and get rid of them.
No.
Kenji's like, I'm water walking.
They're not bothering us. We should probably just leave them alone.
We're on the opposite. The two of us are. They're completely what to do. The two of us are just like, why would we stop?
So, are we
Oh, this is.
able to infer that this storm,
Yeah.
is this, so did Silas, like, not create the storm, but instead bring the storm over to Tao Shinlan, and that's what happened?
I don't know.
Good theory.
I guess from my perception, can I see, is there like the clustered actual bodies of water within the clouds, or is it just regular
Roll
clouds?
perception.
30-20.
I would say that some of the clouds become magically dense enough for there to be bodies of water. Yes.
Okay. I can go check. I can walk on the bodies of water, check it out, scout, and come back if we want.
We're on the other balloon.
I'm talking to Animus, I
He
guess.
has a Vox block.
Oh, that's what he was showing me. He just held up a small piece of paper and I didn't know what it was.
He was actually flipping you off. He was being...
I was hopeful.
I do like how Kenji described sunburns as a tattoo.
I mean, could you actually use like do it on your body with a picto thing?
Well, your body is not made out of
Your body's on a
material.
developing film.
You could process it.
If I grafted my skin with developing film, I could. Yeah. I'm kind of like pitching it as an idea to the group and to Bora Machina.
Animus turns around to you and he says, "Well, I'll take every possible opportunity to send you to your death."
Why would you?
He doesn't say that.
Well, too bad for you. I wouldn't die here.
As headstrong as you are, I do think it is probably not a good idea to send one man against a swarm on his own.
I wouldn't be fighting it. I'd just be scouting it.
And how do you intend that we get you back up without lowering the balloons down?
I would simply jump.
You're going to jump. You're not like grazing the cloud layer. You're just like 30 feet above it.
Yeah, I can jump 30 feet. I can. If you guys have a rope hanging below it, I can easily jump that.
Oh, I guess you do have a rope.
Yeah. Why would we leave? Let's just keep moving. They're not bothering us.
The only problem is there's like an updraft and it comes up to us, and we're in the middle of it without any idea what's
and
going to
as if
happen.
to punctuate that sentence, an upward strike of lightning immediately next to the balloon you're in, swirling upwards of wind.
Do we want to be in the middle of that, or do you want to have an idea of what we're in before we move on?
I don't care, man. I don't think it would make a difference. And so we just float higher and then keep going.
Yeah. Gain a little bit of altitude and get away from it.
Is that the plan?
I feel like
What's your vote, Nimbus?
I say just keep going.
All
Go a little higher.
Then we make this into a skill challenge.
Fuck.
Each one of you must make checks to raise the balloons or otherwise defend against lightning or fish coming at you. Failures will be punished harshly. I need 3 full rounds of success. If you fail the skill challenge, combat will suffice. So, think carefully.
Pop.
Pop it.
You and the swordfish attack the balloon.
I'm gonna do the Avatar thing where I catch lightning and redirect it through my stomach out the other direction.
You can certainly try.
And me when you go to your feet and set them all over that fire.
Man, literally fucking died.
Dude, I am a metal construct, okay? I am the lightning rod. What do you want?
You're standing in a wicker basket.
I know.
Yeah. If anyone should jump off, it should be you. You're a lightning rod. Attracting lightning here. Sure, you don't have any way to get back, but that's a next week problem.
Shazam! I have now returned to a middle school boy.
Shazam! Just fucking ignites the entire balloon.
Yeah, because someone's lightning down.
Crazy how, like, in every piece of Shazam media, his most powerful attack is the Shazam lightning for whatever reason, and he can't, like, as the controller of that lightning, just summon it and not...
Right.
Like, I've got to turn back into a kid for my big attack!
It's his caveat. Shit. Okay, I guess he wants to go first.
I'll go last.
Very helpful.
Yeah, well, I'll go.
Gust!
To push.
Push the storm.
Or us up.
Yeah, push the balloon.
Oh, my
You
word,
realize
push us up.
Gust is a cantrip.
I am the storm.
Yeah.
Capable of moving one creature roughly
I'm
about
really powerful.
a mass about 5 feet by 5 feet by 5 feet in size, 10 feet.
You can use Gus on the fish that are approaching.
That could work.
Oh, I was gonna say
You can use Gus. I'm just saying you need to be smart about it because, like I said, you've gone through enough skill challenges at this point. I think you know how these work. I will begin to actually punish you for failing.
This is the storm that is
Okay.
approaching.
No, you know what?
Good song.
I'm gonna use animal handling to make the fish go away. I can handle them.
How many
so
stamina attacks you got left?
well, we just had a restart, so I'm at my full 5.
Yes. Will you use any in this endeavor?
Yeah, why not? I'll be like,
I will
wave them
give
and then
you
chuck it.
+1 to the check per snack evacuated from your pocket.
Can I like add one after it doesn't go well enough?
Imagine that.
Do I have to play it down?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really dull.
Your DC is
It's still
17.
nice, but very dull.
Okay, and I got a 20, so.
Alright, very good. As a lightning strike next to your balloon, an updraft of spirals of storm fins spiral upwards, and you quickly click their noses on their soft spot using your animal handling knowledge. And they go,
Owie!
and then they go, and they fall back into the cloud. That's one success.
Alright, I got mine.
Okay.
I'm going to grab Sophos' shield off of his back to use it, and then I'm going to use my brace ability for the next wave when it comes at us.
I thought
You are using it
like
for
your stats
die.
can correct.
I will let you add the die to the roll's outcome. This will be a strength check. No skills. DC is 18.
I've had a great idea for a character.
That's going to be 16 plus 10, so 26.
Very good. So you take Stop off the shield. He goes, hey!
Then you fucking what?
You whack a guy?
No, I like put it on the side of the boat to be like more wall protection.
So you look over the edge of the basket and you see like some lightning and wind throw the edge. You go, oh shit. So you quickly grab his shield.
Exactly.
The lightning strike barely glances off the wicker basket. That's 2 successes.
Apparently, that's a 26. 18. I call that a glorious success. That extra D10 was nice. I would have made it, but that's still 5 more.
If I wanted to just, I guess, could I just like start shooting arrows at them as like an attack roll?
You may. Your DC will be 19.
You have to roll average, man. A little, you have to roll slightly below average or better.
Keep in mind, you only get your attack roll once per skill challenge. So if you think this is better, your DC will be higher later. It's smarter to save it.
So skill challenges with only 4 of us. Do we have 3 of us or 2 of us?
3 success
Okay.
per round necessary.
Skill with everything's best.
I guess I could use perception somehow. Or, yeah, I guess I can use perception to, like, if someone, like, because you can sort of make balloons move in the air.
You definitely can by shifting the weight and by adjusting
So I was going to do that.
Can I use my perception to tell, like, when another lightning strike is going to strike, and then, like, shifting the weight of the balloon and just right?
You may certainly try. Your DC will still be 19.
That was going to be mine.
Oh my god. That's a failure. That's a 12.
That's unfortunate. You spot something out in the distance, but you are too focused on looking, and you get glanced by a storm fin. You take
4.
12 slashing damage.
You try to shift the balloon and realize that me and Sophos didn't know that's what you were doing, so it didn't move.
Things get mistimed, you get distracted.
Also,
remember, you have followers.
Yeah, well, that was my point. I was about to have Kyrie just heat the balloon.
Alright, we will have Kyrie. I don't have stats for them!
I know her stats based on what I gave her.
Okay. Have her roll a spellcasting check.
What level is she? Or I guess...
She's...
Does proficiency bonus matter here?
For spellcasting, it does, yeah.
Okay.
She has a +8 modifier.
+8? Okay. What's the DC?
20.
Alright. Nope.
Okay.
That was great.
15.
Oh, bro!
I have inspiration from last session that I didn't use, but that doesn't transfer to 2000.
Kyrie is a little off kilter because it's starting to like get wet around here, so she blasts a firebolt out and glances the side of the wicker basket instead. There is now a large hole in the basket.
Does this count as a combat as far as the mechanics for my Animus D8 inspiration? Or a post short rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that you guys went through a short rest. So
these are turn actions, correct?
Yeah.
So unlimited uses, but once per turn?
yes. Okay. That is 1 round of failure.
So we need 3 rounds of success to get through this alive?
Well, I think to get through, we'll just keep getting hit otherwise, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you fail enough rounds, you'll start combat instead.
Okay.
Alright, new round.
I'll go...
There's now a hole in Team Kyrie's balloon.
With my survival skills, can I decide where to put everyone to maximize our acceleration?
Yes, you certainly can. You're going first, your DC is 17.
Oh wait, does it get higher as you go through? Oh wait,
Let me
anybody
go
else want to go?
Let me go last, because I
This is a +9 skill for me.
I'll go last, because
Okay, whatever, okay then. Yeah, it's a
unlucky.
27.
Yes. So, are you on Team Kyrie's balloon?
Yes.
You immediately spot the hole in the basket, and you're like, we gotta down this quick. You position everybody accordingly so that the weight is correctly balanced for the wicker basket to stay level again.
Woo! Physics master.
And missiles. Okay. Who's next?
You should go next.
I know.
Use something you're an expert in.
I know.
Use sleight of hand to patch it.
I'm not on there.
Oh yeah, you're not.
Don't tell other balloon.
Yeah, on the other balloon.
Can I use Cahill does smoke screen on himself, and I throw a smoke grenade in the other thing to like hide us away from the storm pins for at least just a little bit?
Yes, I would say that you may roll stealth. You're using a smoke bomb for this, so you'll have to roll for your belt. Advantage. So with advantage. Because you're using a consumable.
Okay, that's at 29.
Very good, very good. So you kind of like are carried over out of your balloon at Team Animus's balloon.
Team A and Team B.
And you see they're scrambling to rebalance the basket, but what they don't see is that they're about to be under attack by a bunch of storm fins. So very quickly, you throw a smoke bomb over, granting them cover. The storm fins get confused because their primary sense is that of electricity, so they fly away. That's a success. Who's next?
Wait,
So the DC is 20 now. I think you should go at this point.
It'll be 19, the last one will be 20.
I think you should go.
It's
on
level 1.
Yeah, on the D4.
Even if I have a C that's bad for you, you should go now.
Why would it be bad for you?
Because if I fail, it just makes it harder for you, and I don't have the skill as good as your grappling. So it'd be better for your athletics, I'm assuming is what you're doing.
So, me and Softbox in unison, he's going to use his bash, and I'm going to use athletics, and we are going to attempt to shift the balloon, again, similar to what he did, but the two of us being the majority of the mass of the balloon, doing this in unison.
Okay. So, roll, I'll say athletics, yeah. +3 from Softbox.
Okay, that's going to be a 24.
Okay. So you and Softbox both lean back, and the basket like lurches backwards as
27. I forgot the +3.
a thunderhead slices a lightning bolt just seconds away from where the basket would have been. That's a success. No.
It doesn't really matter what I do now.
It does, because if you fail, your check will take damage, or something bad will happen. So. But the round is a success, so you don't have too much to worry about.
We need 3 successes total, right? It's best of 5, I guess. I can do damage, I'm fine. I'll try and do animal handling, similar to what she had done before.
Your DC is 20.
Alright. Nope. That's a 4, plus 4, so 8 total.
You watch Nimbus deflect a storm fin with like a pressure point attack earlier. You're like, oh, I can do that. And you move your hand out, and it gets alive like some of their teeth.
Yeah, it would not matter what skill I did there, I would have failed.
You take 9 slash damage. Alright. The third round commences. You have made some space between you and the cloud layer below. You're a lot higher now, but you're still under direct attack by several fish.
By the way, we can only attempt something. We can only attempt on something once, or we can only succeed on something.
You can only attempt.
Okay.
Alright. Round 3. Who wants to go first? Your DC will be easier than everybody else.
You want to go?
Nah.
You got 2 fails, man.
I haven't used any good skills yet.
Okay.
Can I? Could I somehow use intimidation?
You want to use intimidation.
I mean, that's one of the only other skills that I'm high in that isn't like
You have
plus 13.
Sleight of hand.
That isn't
You
a
still
plus
have your
13.
attack roll. You have sleight of hand.
You have acrobatics.
Sure.
You're good
Oh
for
wait,
it.
I forgot I got that. Hold on.
I guess. See, but because my pluses are so high.
You should go second or third, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking.
What's the next skill you're thinking of doing?
I'm still thinking. I was expecting somebody else to go first.
Well, I think my skills I'm doing from here are slightly better than your athletics, or slightly worse than your athletics, and slightly better than the other skills. I think it's still best to go first. What are you planning on doing, Nimbus?
I forgot about the tentacle rod.
Fish.
Oh, the tentacle rod?
Don't touch my fucking balloon!
Yeah, you all have.
Can I just use the tentacle rod to grab something and throw it down?
Yeah, you could. I would say that's a grapple check with disadvantage because of you're using one of the. No, the rod is not per use.
It is infinite charge.
I would say you
It's
can make.
plus 9 with the rod says it has plus 9 bonus for attack roll.
Yeah, you can make a grapple check with plus 9 against the DC of 16.
Anyone else want to go first?
You go for it.
Wait, how should I do this? Because this is against the DC. So roll a check and add 9 to it.
Yeah.
Against the DC of 16.
Yeah, I'm good. Didn't even need the
Damn.
plus 9. I rolled a 17.
So you see an opportunity. There are stormfish ahead of you, behind you, that are attacking you. So you quickly take out your tentacle rod, grab one of the stormfish in front, yank yourself forward, up and out of the way of the ones behind you, and out of danger as well. In one smooth motion.
Neat.
Nimbus, if you can't tell, is used to steering ships out of storms. So
Whether sea or sky.
Does Kenji see any particularly large fish?
yes, there is a rather brutish-looking thunderhead with a scarred eye approaching you.
You've got a name tag that's a scar on it.
Yeah. Kenji is going
sexy fish from
to
Nemo?
try and jump from fish to fish to fish and hit this guy and kick him away
Yes.
with a spinning axe kick and try and use that momentum to try and get back to the ship and grab onto the side.
So you are using one use of your axe kick.
I'd use either acrobatics or an attack roll, whichever you can use.
I think you can use acrobatics, and if you're actually going to use the axe kick,
Yeah.
for use, I'll give you advantage.
Okay. I will be using that then.
DC is 17.
The time I didn't use either of it. I rolled a 19 and 18, but on my base rolls. Yeah.
Kenji does the thing where he connects the lines of the falling of the fish. He pops from foot to foot to foot, and he gets to the brutish one who is charging up a lightning bolt, kicks him in the face with one smooth motion, flies backwards, slides down the surface of the fabric balloon, and lands on the basket edge. That's
Maybe you
a
guys
success.
thought me going out there was a bad idea. I'm a bit more effective out there than I am in here.
All right, who's next?
I will use my sleight of hand.
2.
There are riggings on the
There
boat?
are lots of riggings. Yeah.
On the boat. It's a balloon.
There are weights hanging off the side of the balloon. There are ropes connecting to the engine. There are just ropes kind of wreathed around the balloon itself.
I use sleight of hand to untie one of the weights to drop it on a fish.
Seriously?
I mean, I kind of want to because it's so funny.
Your DC will be 19. Give it a try.
Oh, don't fucking me, please.
Fucking please.
God damn it, Robert! 17!
So, you have an idea. You think, oh, I can drop a weight on a fish, and at the same time I'll defend ourselves against attack, and I'll remove our weight so we can fly higher. Unfortunately, you grab the wrong rope. You untie one of the ropes that moors the basket to the balloon.
Goodbye, weight balancing.
So now you are hanging, and people are spilling out. You're not on team Kyrie's balloon.
No, he's on
Yeah.
Team B.
He is, his raw strength is the only thing keeping him in the air right now. And we know how good that is.
So there's one corner of the balloon hanging lopsided, and you are starting to slide down towards that edge of the balloon.
At the end of the balloon where everyone is sliding, there's Alistair.
You very quickly cut a rope, but it's the wrong one.
This is fine. Okay, so for my turn, Sophos is going to use his reaction shield master to get evasion on deck saves to help catch the other crew from falling, and 25 is going to take the rope. I'm just trying to see if I can get something out of it.
That's not how saves work. Save reaction, I call for saves from you.
Okay. Sophos is going to use his shield master to help catch the others from falling. 25 is going to try to pull the rope back together, so that way the boat can stay connected.
Okay, so I will give you your choice between a dex save or an athletics check for this.
Okay, I'll use the athletics check to try to pull it together.
Okay.
Try to see if I can get anything out of Sophos on this one. That's going to be a 22.
That passes by 2 points. Alright. So, you all slide, you use that momentum to grab both ends of the rope, flex them back together, the same way Spider-Man does with the fucking...
Oh, of course.
Sophos also, like, grabs both ends too, and you were both kind of like, together. And you just managed to catch someone with your foot as they're about to slide off the...
Okay.
Sophos does, rather. Catch someone with his foot as they're about to slide off the basket. 2 rounds of success. We move on to round 4. You are nearly out of the storm and the swarm of fish, but you are all about to, like, fall through holes or off of your respective baskets, so...
I would like to go first.
Okay.
I would like to work together with Kyrie.
Yes.
And use her fire stride to clear any natural hazardous terrain in front of us, whether that be storm clouds or...
Okay. I will say...
natural / magical terrain is ignored. I'm wondering if she can clear it out.
What kind of check would this be?
Survival? Or would it be a spell attack?
You are supposed to argue this, yeah.
I'm waiting for you to give me something, then argue it. I would argue a charisma-based survival check for her.
Okay.
So I would leave that number up to you, but she has a +4 or 5 in charisma, presumably, and then whatever she has in...
I would say she's probably proficient in survival.
Okay.
So, +7.
Okay.
Survival check +7, DC 17. Plus whatever your survival modifier is too.
Okay. I rolled a 2.
Plus?
+10. It's just +7 +3. So 12 total.
Man, monks really are not good with the skills.
We're fine with skills. I just rolled shit so far.
I'm literally trying my best.
I feel quite...
You and Kyrie, like, grab each other's arms, like, ready? Like, yeah, ready. You jump out of the balloon, like, hanging on a rope to attempt to, like, clear away some of the clouds, only to discover that Kyrie's burning through the rope on accident.
It just melted through.
So quickly, you make the executive decision to not let the rope burn through, to grab further up the rope to save yourselves from falling, but you end up burning yourself pretty badly. So you take 10 fire damage. Alright, who's next?
I've got a good one, so...
I feel pretty good about mine, too.
I can go then. Yeah, I should go then.
Use your acrobatics.
That's what I was gonna do.
You said 10 fire damage?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about how I can...
You should have THP.
I did.
Okay.
So...
it got rid of it when I sliced my hand open.
Oh, sorry.
So it still swung down. Did you fix that?
So I caught it.
He's holding the basket and the rope together.
Can I run... Can I use my acrobatics to, like, finagle my way up the basket so I could help, like, way down the other side so it takes the strain off of him?
Yeah.
Trying to hold it together.
Yeah, that works.
Oh my god. 21.
That's a pass. You kind of, like, look around and you're like, you nod. You need to, like, scramble up a rope, clamber underneath, like, the part of the engine of the balloon, grab, like, a loose slack from the upper balloon, throw it down to 25 minutes just to tie the ends together. And he's no longer having to hold your basket together.
Fuck yeah.
Alright, who's next?
Okay, so I have this silk rope, and I want to wetten it and then lay it over the hole and freeze it.
Okay.
I was going for spellcasting. I already used survival.
Yeah, we can make that a spellcasting check. If you use a level spell, it'll be even better, but you can also just use a cantrip.
Yeah. 19.
You passed it barely.
Well, 19 plus 10, so...
Oh.
I did quite well.
You're not over the lower 17.
You're like...
This is
completely...
and this is like zone.
You're completely ignoring all the cats around you. You're like, I will do anything.
But I haven't used the entire campaign.
We'll seal it up like that. And then like Kenji and Kyrie screaming for their lives. On the side of the balloon, you're just like, oh, thanks. Alright, we need one more success from you, 20 bucks, or else this round will be a failure.
Since now that I have my hands free, being having some assistance on the rope, Vasophos are gonna punch some fucking fish using his beatdown to add a d6 of damage to my melee attack.
Okay, so we'll say that's a +3 to your attack roll. Your DC's 20.
DC's 20. That's gonna be 20 even. 7 plus 10 plus 3. That's gonna be 20.
So, you're like, oh, we're almost out of it. You turn around and there's one last like vanguard of stormfinch tracking you down, and you go punch, punch, punch. One of them slides over your arm, and your fist up your arm, and Saphos jumps up, kicks it in the face, and it goes flying off.
No speaking.
You do like a full out, just like,
oh yeah.
Just bros.
Just bros. Just dudes being dudes. You are successfully out of the danger zone. There's a few stragglers that you're like, snipe them off. And you get Kenji and Kyrie back onto the proper balloon in the basket that has been sealed. Woo! That was a close one. That was too close. A fucking 7. God damn. I'm going to double check that.
Okay,
make sure that is structurally sound.
Alistair has a good knot.
Okay.
Jim is completely unfazed by all of it, and everyone's like...
Yeah, this is just par for the course. Remember the Shrike dream? That was worse than this. That boat got sniped in half.
25's concern comes from me.
Didn't they also, like, ice the boat together then, too? Ice is my solution.
And it was, like, straight his posture again. He gets, like, an approving nod.
Did the floor pencils multiply? I just had them underneath my foot.
Yeah.
No, I didn't grab that.
That was the floor pencil.
Well, there's always a floor pencil. So if someone picks it up, another one falls.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you have anything else, I'd like to.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, little bit after everything like starts to calm down, Kenji's gonna like go up to Nimbus and go like, "My God, you're insane at that! What the hell?"
Exactly what are you speaking of?
Like the storm and all that. That was nothing to you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you guys seemed a little bit all over the place, but I know my way around structure that is in motion.
Well, I'm glad you're on the team then.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it was he was like an approving nod. I must admit, you're all a very effective group.
Nimbus like, I did everything on this.
I kept it.
I mean, like Kenji will make that comment. Like she basically did do everything for us. Like you almost did nothing.
He was a little helpful.
I put it up some very important things.
With his extra arms.
Besides, my skill set was not really...
He helped dictate where people went on the ship when I was telling him where to dictate people on the ship.
He was good at relaying my orders.
He was the manager.
I'm the region manager. He is the store manager.
He's not the assistant manager, he's the assistant
to the regional manager.
And I'm the courtesy clerk. Well, we have a regional manager?
Kyrie, how are you?
Well, I've never seen so much water before.
Really?
It's a little frightening.
Oh yeah, I guess it doesn't rain. Well, didn't it rain for a long time?
Oh, I guess that's right. I did dream about that. That was also true? It was raining that much?
It was raining that much.
Oh. Well, I hope they get a better handle on my powers. Sorry about that. brother Kenji?
That's fine.
Did I burn you?
No? You're good.
Visible burn marks.
Like clapping his hands.
I mean, you didn't burn me, just some straight fire.
She like tears a strip off the bottom of her cloak and like bandages it up.
Oh, I'm fine.
She gives you a look when you say that.
I guess, does she burn, can she burn herself?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like, she actively burns herself.
Okay, that's what I thought, but she
Well, not
knows how to
actively.
handle a burn.
Yeah.
Passively burns herself, really.
So when the rain gets like the fabric wet, it'll become a cold compress. Like it'll. Be
I can breathe it.
What the hell is a cold compress?
Give me your arm, Kenji.
You're gonna freeze his fucking arm off.
Freeze the bandage!
I mean, go for it. I trust you.
Yeah, we'll just like freeze the water on
I don't think that's necessary.
Why not?
It's windy and he's wet. It will be plenty cold.
What the hell are you to say that? I trust her.
I know my medicine.
cold damage.
It's like a frozen bandage, a cool spot.
Yeah.
How
Icy hot.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm just gonna do like shape water
Okay.
yeah.
on your bandage.
Ninja should save this all from the storm.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
trust her with this.
I freeze his bandage.
All right.
It like soothes your burn.
My arm is
Cool.
removed.
It comically freezes and falls and
Like, can you take a little big plastic arm? When you're gonna fall, you like have it fall.
That's like the Lego time too.
Can you like just flip in a Lego piece?
You make the Lego Yoda death sound.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we're probably out of the woods now, so we should be making landfall.
We are
soon.
in the sky.
The figurative woods,
Oh.
my Lord Hunter friend.
He actually does that. He looks at you. He goes, okay.
Nimbus stares back.
Just double checking the name.
Melissa?
Yeah. I was gonna ask how she's doing.
She has been pretending to be asleep the whole time. Or is actually asleep, you don't know.
So she just left
Sleep?
No, we don't. Some of them might request to keep it in, so. Some people find relaxation or pleasure in it. We don't always remove the need to.
How you doing, Alistair?
I'm upset.
You're upset? You wanna talk about it?
No.
All the
Me and Topos do like the bro nod again, and they're just like,
You're like more time repeat.
I know a guy who does that in real life.
aw.
It's the worst.
It's me.
Does what?
I was helping him study for an exam. He goes, "Oh, I see." Like,
Oh no.
I just picture 25 at Sophos being just like so like totally fine, but also equally afraid of falling off the boat that they're just like straight faced, just like that went well because we didn't fall.
If it is my fate to fall, I shall accept it, but.
they both kind of neither of them can feel cold, but they both shudder a little bit at the idea of falling into the ocean.
Cahill is also still sitting in like the depressed chair pose.
Instantly, he like gets out of combat, instantly depressed again.
He lets out like a low sigh.
If you like drop puppet, you just like
almost. There's like a rumble through his chest engine as he lets out a long sigh.
I can't believe Shinji said Neon Genesis in the new Neon Genesis Evangelion movie. It was very Neon Genesis of him.
Okay.
I'm going Neon Genesis.
Evangelion.
He lets
Like
out
more
like
of the time.
a long sigh. He's like,
Percy would have known what to do.
Shut the fuck up. We did just fine.
Is Alistair or is Schultzine in our balloon?
I don't know, so I'll see what balloon are you in.
Well, actually, I'm in
Your mom.
your mom.
He would be in your balloon because they have Lissa.
No, we have
this.
Lissa.
Oh, they actually Solstice's on your balloon.
Because we have Lissa.
Damn, that would have been cool for him to hear.
You know what? We'll just
Oh,
swap
I
that.
feel like-
This is on our balloon.
I feel like we did just fine. All things considered.
I mean, we're not dead.
You say that, and then a sinking feeling begins to kind of like form in the bottom of your guts. And you realize, oh, this isn't an emotion. our balloon's sinking.
Oh, the balloon is falling?
And you look up, and there's like a spot in the balloon that appears to have been ripped open.
Is that Borogove balloon? Think that's theirs.
Just this.
Where are you guys going?
I don't have mending. Lisa, do you have mending?
No. I'm not a caster.
None of us are casters. Well,
I will just face the heat and climb onto the inside of the balloon.
Yeah. What you did on the shit, do you think you can do it today?
I got more rope!
That'd be nice. I shout as we're just like slowly lowering.
You don't need to shout, we have the box block.
I'm shouting anyway.
Shouting into the box block.
Can I like jump on top of it as they're lowering?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll do that and do my ice thing
You're
again.
like applying the vault over the side of the basket. You like kind of like stab, not like stab, you like press your spear to the side to like help break your fall.
Yeah, not the pointy side. You was like, hey, it looks like you need some help. And I'm like, shut up.
Then there's something about this rip looks odd to you.
It looks like a recap. What about it looks odd?
I don't know.
But is it deliberate, or is it sabotage? Was it weaponry?
If you would like to roll a skill check.
I'm not an animal who made the rip.
I got a natural 20.
On
perceiving.
The pattern of this rip is not jagged and tooth-like like a mouth. It is evenly spaced apart in 3 lines.
So it was deliberate.
Who's to say?
Well, whatever. I have this
feels
rope.
Purposeful to you.
It's more important to catch it up right now, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do the ice thing again, where I'm going to lay it down.
Right. Go ahead and roll the spellcasting check again.
Wait,
This is Nimbus's heyday, and we're all here for it.
You're like, that's weird. I'm tired of it! Get your rope out.
I'm gonna fix it!
And you like, you want to use your spear to sew it shut?
Yes.
Tie off the stitch, freeze it over like a sealant. You know it won't hold for too long because it's ice and it will melt from the heat, but you think it will hold long enough for you to hit landfall.
Thank you.
Should I just slide down into their box? Probably easier than going up.
You could rabbit hop.
You have to turn into a bird.
Oh, wait, yeah, wild shape. That's easier. I'll just wild shape it, fly up.
Amos watches you wild shape. He says, would you be willing to serve as a scout?
I can't speak at this point, but I guess I'll go. I'll like.
Call 3 times. You agree.
I'll just nod my bird head.
Yeah, nod my fat bird head. PH fat. Okay, so you go scout ahead, and you're able to communicate well enough to avoid any future threats. It is now the wee little hours of the morning, and you see landfall. The clouds have mostly passed. You have more or less lowered down the cloud layer through it, and you see landfall.
Once you aren't landed, we're like 20 feet above the ground. Can you like jump out early? Like, thank God, land!
You all kind of hit the shore. You didn't have quite enough height to land on the.
I can land on water and walk.
Yes, but you are one of like 10 people.
Yeah, I can jump out early.
I'll pick up Kyrie and bring her to land.
Okay.
The rest of us land 30 seconds later.
She kind of has like the same face that she made when you were like flying with her last time, but she looks like to be enjoyed it this time and not scared for her life. She still looks anxious, but you know, like
this is cool.
Like roller coaster anxious.
Yeah.
Right.
She's bopping.
Animals will be fine.
Everyone else swims over, and we have 25 in softball in the basket.
I like to think we're the last to leave, so we wait to get as close as possible.
Softball is like desperately using his shield as like an oar.
I thought 25 would jump off, sink his bottom until we walk up the shore. Like
that's what would happen. We're getting as close as possible before I have to walk in. Yeah, once the basket hits, softball starts rowing, 25 will hop out and then just walk up the shore.
Yeah, he comes out of the ocean, like...
Want me to throw you?
No.
Okay.
Throw me, Bob!
I dislike getting wet. I will not belittle myself to being thrown.
You can sit in the basket while Sopos throws.
I'll just go pick you up.
You see Cahill very closely wraps his cloak around the engine in his chest. It jumps in. And once he hits shore, there's like a weird gurgling sound as he drains.
Oh, yeah, what was the point of that origin of that?
The way that you get water out of an engine is
in their balloon.
you cycle the engine.
Yeah.
I'm a
So he's
silver.
just sitting there like breathing the cycle, and it's like fucking sputtering out
There's
water.
some very choked prowler sound, like out of his chest. Yeah.
You just take out the spark plug. Take out the spark plug, run the engine, and it just fucking ejects the water out of the spark plug.
He takes out the engine, like he's done before, and he shakes it out a little bit, visibly wilts, puts it back in, and then he looks at the water.
Yes, I have to swim.
Or she can come get you.
I can come get you.
I'll just swim.
I'll watch you guys from above though, to make sure nobody's drowning.
Midnight knows water walk, but she's keeping that knowledge to herself.
Can you walk through the water? And you want help?
I like to think you hop in and you start.
Hey Peter, join me.
You start swimming. You see him walking up. You glance down. You see 25 underwater just walking along the bottom.
No, Alistair's actually so bad at swimming, he only floats on his back and paddles. Safety swims to shore.
I imagine 25 comes up below Alistair and he ends up on his back.
You get raised up and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
Cahill turns around and makes eye contact with you while you're still in the basket. He takes a step forward and extends a hand out.
Is it just like Jesus and Peter?
Is he on shore or is...
Yeah, he's
Oh, I'm getting out of the water. He's helping me out of the water.
He's offering to help.
Yeah, I take his hand.
You take the clawed hand.
What happened to being a pissy little baby boy?
He pulls you back up.
So my dad.
He offers his cloak to you.
All the way.
I have the moth cloak. I'll be alright, thank you though.
The moth cloak, on its own, shakes off the water.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of had a feeling.
For a split second, it goes full, wingspan out, and it falls down.
Float off the
Do you
ground.
hear any weird whispers while it does this? It's fuck this shit.
Oh, he's used to it by now.
The whispers give me comfort.
The voices in my head tell me I'm just fine.
I have quackers.
Oh, I was just letting it.
Why do you eat a cracker? You are the cracker.
Oh, I grabbed
Crackers eating crackers live on television.
Cracker on cracker violence.
Okay, thanks. And take a moment to collect yourselves. You appear to be on the shore of a very rocky, kind of desertous area. Kind of like a Badlands type.
Do I recognize this place at all?
Oh, there's a little itchy niggle at the back of your mind.
PTSD?
like a niggling sensation.
He's using the word correctly.
Is that a word? I didn't know that was a word.
Yeah, niggle. Cause a slight but persistent annoyance
I heard
and
you.
anxiety.
He's using the word correctly.
I heard the word. The first thing I did was look at Red and just...
Okay. I thought we were all adults here.
I didn't know it was a word. I thought you were making up a word.
Niggle. To cause a slight but continuous cause of discomfort or annoyance.
I didn't know that was a
Niggling
word.
sensation. Something niggles at your mind.
Never heard this before.
I don't think so.
You guys don't know what the word niggle means. You don't know what a fairy man is.
Oh, it makes me give it a literal
No, I'm referring to a fairy man.
It's not just an us problem. Alpharad voiced in the game where he voiced the character called the Fairy Man. He didn't have any art. He thought it was just it was just a fairy man.
You guys need to work on your media literacy.
Shut up, bitch.
You didn't tell me you know fairies.
I'm media illiterate.
Yeah, well, you watch Pro Talks here, bitch.
This is true.
I want more quackers, actually. That's all we.
Yes, there is a
Making
slight
that good shit.
continuous discomforting sensation here.
Oh god.
You can't quite place it.
Uncomfy.
Well, I don't know if I could ever become an adventurer. What if my tummy hurt?
God's greatest warrior.
I faced 3 challenges today. All of them were a tummy ache.
You truly are God's strongest warrior. Alright, I'm gonna start walking forward. I don't know where else to go.
You see the silhouette of a village, or some structure out in the distance.
Come on, gang.
Shouldn't we have a game plan of some sort?
Win.
I mean, yeah, that's the goal, but Animus takes one of his, like, extra arms to, like, scratch his chin a little bit. We should probably approach this with some sort
Does
of...
he have a chin?
The base of his head, where the chin would be.
Actually, there's a piece of flesh there. That's only left over human parts.
He has an
He
artificial
sits on
one.
his chin,
It's on.
and scratch it.
He puts on an artificial beard.
So,
The stroke.
I think we should all be on the same page. Coordinated plan of attack, then we'll see.
Okay.
Let me do what she says.
Wait, why am I the planner?
You normally are.
Am I?
I don't know.
Well,
I normally default to your ideas.
in this context, well, also, you just showed some of the most extreme prowess in this field
That's true.
by being just an absolute fucking Chad and just fixing every problem single-handedly.
I can fix it.
Fix it, Felix. Bob the Builder, if you will.
Nimbus,
Goat.
yeah, I don't know, I can't think of an N-word. I don't know the color.
Nimbus the Niggler.
Yes, I normally default to her suggestions if I don't already have one.
I'm glad Robert said that. I was thinking about saying that word, but I was like, maybe I shouldn't.
Hey, Niggle, it's a real word.
Well, Nimbus, you have shown quite some skills, so I would also be willing to follow your lead on this one.
Survival and exploration is kind of your thing.
What?
Survival and exploration is kind of your thing.
Not on land.
More than us.
Okay, but it applies.
What was your other comment?
I said I was willing to follow.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, actually, I'm still a bird. Can I go check? Can I just scout out the area?
Yeah.
I'll go with you.
I'm a bird.
I'm a huge bird. I
guess I'll carry you. I'll grab you.
Or you can just go on your back or whatever.
I like to imagine that, like, Nimbus, like, takes off and Kerry goes, I'll go with you.
Yeah. I just jump on your back.
I'm like, fucking Kenji's on me. Okay, whatever. I'll take Kenji too. We
So
can
you all
both
kind of
can perceive.
Soar up, roll a perception check. One of you may roll with advantage, or both of you may roll.
Yep, I got a 16.
We're not planning on going
A
back.
25.
We're planning to stay here for...
And it turns to you and says, well, we're back at the end of the loop. So,
Okay, so we were on the same page.
what did you...
25.
Oh.
You're having a bad day today, aren't you, pal?
And Kenji's the common
Here,
factor
let's see
for
what
all
it
these
would have been if I
things.
had the advantage. It would have been a 27 if I had a...
You are on a very remote shoreline. You recognize this. This is the northern arm of Tormo. It's a peninsular area at the edge of the Lost Kingdom. You've never been there yourself, but you've seen enough maps to know where you are. There is a small village nearby.
Wait, oh yeah, that's the undead, right?
What's it say?
So I just see the village.
Yes. Past that, lots of stuff. Mountainous terrain, lots of canyons, lots of abandoned-looking structures. It looks like an old trade road that had been built up. The word is promenade. I don't know if all of you are versed enough in what that is. Anthropology, maybe? You know? Yeah, it's a promenade. So lots of actual structures on the beachside trade road that has since been decayed.
Okay. Well, that's information. I guess I'll go back.
Public walk, typically one along a waterfront or a resort.
I'll go back to Rabbit Nimbus.
So it's all looking decayed. There's no sign of life here.
There are lights on in the village.
Cahill. Do you remember a village?
Animus looks at Cahill with surprise, actually. What? He stays silent. Animus does. Cahill kind of shrinks back into himself a little bit.
That is Borogove.
Is it worth stopping by?
For what purpose?
That's why I'm asking you.
Is there anything left there?
Anything worth our time?
Well,
there are people there. They might know something. They might not.
This is looking very intensely at Cahill.
I'm gonna guess that Cahill never explained where he was from.
Or he isn't supposed to be providing any information to us.
I think probably the prior.
Yeah, well, he looked surprised when I asked him at all, so.
Yeah, like, Animus never looks surprised. He looks surprised.
But how does he look surprised about a face?
Well, even like his
mannerism,
tight posture relaxes, and like a shot sense, you know, like he tilts his head downwards, extends his neck upwards, you know.
Silence for him.
Yeah.
Him though.
Cahill says,
It might be worth silence, might not be worth silence.
and then he shrinks back into his crosses his
So
arms.
we can go check out the people, I guess, or we could just start exploring and run down promenade. I don't know how much that would help so much as something to look at.
Do we have a greater idea, or did we just show up to this country and hope for the best?
We are investigating the legend of the Kingmaker.
So it might be good to talk to the people.
Yeah.
People-
The legend.
I assumed no things. That was the plan that I had in mind the whole time, was to ask around subtly. Then he turns back to Cahill. You all go on ahead. I need to have a word.
No, I think we should stick with our followers.
Fine.
You're my buddy after all, and I put my arm.
Yes, you are also my... And he picks up his butt.
I like to think it's two of the other arms.
We friends earlier. I thought we were on a pretty, at least neutral basis.
Animus turns to Cahill. Says very tersely, we will discuss this later. And then, yes, well, let us enter the city in unison then. Coordinate plan of attack, right?
Are we attacking?
I was going to waltz
The figure
in.
of speech, Nicholas.
It sounds fairly
I'm
violent.
gonna position myself.
Have you told the group
and
about
Cahill
the
at, like,
deliberate
the back of the group,
claw marks?
and as we're
Or
walking,
Oh no, that's
like,
so true. I should mention
purposefully
that.
like stint our pace, so we're like slowly falling behind.
Okay.
But because this is what we do for a living, we do it in a way that nobody notices we're even like growing the distance.
Cahill tries to... Actually, Cahill does not fall in pace. He tries to keep pace with the group.
And I like
You grab him or force him.
I start talking to him just about. I start telling him like stories about like shit that I've been doing, like some of the shit I've been doing.
When you pull back with him, he shakes his... You see shaking his head, and again, you hear under his breath,
Percy would know what that said.
Why did Animus not know that this is where we're from? I like very like.
How loudly do you say that?
I like whisper to him.
Okay.
I'm making sure that there is distance enough where we're not being heard.
actually, an episode super hearing.
Alistair, what I have said in the past, that every choice I have made was for my sons, I meant it.
Okay, I would really appreciate it if you would explain what that means.
He kind of shrinks away again.
I want to understand. I want to be able to call you my dad again. But I can't unless you explain why you did the things you did.
My role as your father is to protect you. It is not to explain things.
Because I said so.
He's an adult.
You don't need to
You're at the
protect
front of the
me
group.
anymore, obviously.
You
Because
don't-
even in a different time, I could protect myself from you, and I succeeded.
You know,
Does he remember that?
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Animus told him about it.
Yeah.
So we fucked up his shit.
I don't need your protection anymore. I need to understand.
You're
what
my
you're
son. I can't just stop protecting you.
I understand that, but you need to get it through your. I gesture at his head that get through this situation, to protect me from any danger that might be here, you have to keep me informed on the situation. I need situational awareness.
He puts the mask back on, and he says,
Of course he would have known what to do.
he says, I will let you know when you need to know.
Most bad thing to say.
Oh my.
I'll tell you when you're older.
And he says it in like condescending, fatherly way that you would expect from someone who has not realized that their, son is more capable than they might think.
Okay, I'm gonna... Oh yeah, I should probably add, now that I have speaking capabilities once again, the tear in your...
Are you announcing it to the group, or are you talking to?
Yes, the group. The tear in the, not my hot air balloon, whatever you guys are on, it seemed fairly odd. It wasn't caused by one of the fish. It appears.
Everyone kind of like looks around at each other.
The lines, not really lines, there's 3 punctures in a line.
There's like an awkward silence as people look around, and Melissa goes, well, it wasn't me!
I didn't ask if it was you.
When she says that, can I use my perception to see if anyone, like, noticeably, like, reacts?
This would be insight.
Oh. Fuck.
Well, I mean, I can insight. Can I just insight?
Well,
You may roll separately, or one of you may have advantage.
How about we all... Oh,
First time I didn't
no.
roll great. So I got a 14.
There are a lot of people with a lot of things to hide in this group.
Well, the people with claw arms are Cahill, possibly Animus, depending on any modifications or attachments he has that he hasn't really revealed his hand with.
I looked when she mentioned you drew him with 4.
Oh. He's supposed to have 3.
Huh.
I actually see that.
Yeah, I was like, I know he has claws.
There were 4 claw marks.
And line.
I've been meaning to redo Cahill's character art because I'm not pleased with how it turned out.
So 3. He's supposed to have 3.
He's supposed to have 3.
I look at my dad and I look at his arm. Like, I look at the claw and I'm like...
Are you all looking at Cahill?
I'm not gonna look at anyone. I'm gonna send this to the group, see the reactions, and then turn back as if I'm leaving.
Well, Kendrick's just going to be looking at people and seeing who has weapons capable of slashing rather than...
Noticeably, it seems to be Lissa, because she has blades in her compartments, Animus, or Cahill.
Softboss looks at him. Like, one finger. Yeah. 25 sees him doing that and is like, I think we're alright.
You Cahill while the group is looking at each other, or after?
No, afterwards. Because he's already in hot water. I don't want to cause him to, fucking die.
Okay.
Maybe evolve my martial technique.
You kind of let that marinate a little bit, Nimbus, before you start moving forward again?
No, I would have said it. I would have been like, I forgot to tell you this. Tell it to them. See the reactions, and then just keep going.
Hey, by the way, information. See you.
Do what you will with that.
Animus falls in line with
By the way, I'm your dad.
He leans in closely and he says, do you have any suspicions?
I'm your dad.
I don't do people.
Very well. And he almost kind of awkwardly steps away. You confront your father.
Nimbus doesn't do gossip.
I'm like, hey, bud. I don't say that. I'm like, hey.
You turn your chair backwards. Hey, bud.
Just a lip bite.
Yeah.
You kind of look like the most likely culprit in that. Would you like to explain anything?
What have you gotten up there?
To your son?
He stops and he grabs you by the shoulders and he looks at you intensely and just looks at his mask and he says, do you trust me?
No!
Do you trust that anything that I have done has been for you and Armin? Do you truly believe? I know that you don't.
I know that you don't get along with me at the moment, but do you truly feel that in the bottom of your heart that everything I've done has been for your and Armin's benefit, regardless of our current circumstances.
Does it make me upset? Yes. But also, do I think as a parent, in your mind, you genuinely believed what your actions were beneficial? Yes. Yes, I believe you. That.
Since there's nothing to say. And he keeps walking.
You are such a fucking... God damn it! So, okay, I'm going to take that as him admitting that he did it.
Perhaps he thinks that dying in the ocean would be a fate better than
coming here.
Robert has theories.
I'm just gonna stand there as he walks away. I'm just gonna like...
There's like a moment where he realizes you're not walking, like 2 beats later, and he turns around and he puts his hand up. It's on hand.
I walk past him. I completely ignore his existence, and I walk right past him.
Do you look back?
No, I don't.
You come up and you see Safos doing like a knife hand motion with his...
He's like trying to calculate how he would make 3 slices.
He's trying to even go.
He wants to make sure it wasn't him.
25. Do you think I could make 3 slits if I split my fingers like this?
Potentially.
I don't think it's possible.
I mean, if you curved your fingers like so they were layered on top of each other, you could maybe do one with the left.
Yeah. What if he did this?
Maybe like 2 with the right.
Well, it's not possible at all because I'm far too heavy to climb up the balloon to begin with.
Yes, we were busy doing shit.
Furthermore, I think I would have remembered doing that.
I think you would have. I can assure you, I was busy trying to hold the boat
Do you
together.
think a shark could have done that? After Nimbus explained this, do you think it might have been a shark?
It's too soon to rule out the possibility. 25 is just feeding in as much as possible.
Are you done? Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Are you done?
But Kenji's going to have a thought, and I'm trying to going to walk it through with you and see if it is a reasonable thought process.
Is this out of character?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So Kenji has fought with Lisa before. He fought with her in that practice duel. Does he think from his evaluation of her and however much she was holding back or whatever, does he think she could have gotten up there and slashed it and gone back down without notice in the heat of that fight, as chaotic as everything was, especially when that thing tilted?
Physically possible. There was a moment where both balloons were coated in a smoke screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know she's nimble enough to have jumped over there and back.
Okay, so Kenji's line of thinking right now is this was done intentionally as an attempt to sow distrust within the group. She would possibly do it on Animus's order in order to try and as the prime suspect is obviously Cahill.
Mr. 3 evenly placed blades apart on his arm.
But Cahill's not dumb enough to do that and leave such an obvious trace. I think it's an attempt by her to, for whatever reason, to attempt to sow distrust within the group, to at least drive a wedge between you and him. And I'm trying to figure out if this is a reasonable line of thinking for Kenji to have.
I think Kenji could come to that conclusion.
Especially the part where Cahill is too smart to leave tracks. I think it's a logical step for Kenji to think, it was done to make him look like he did it.
Mm-hmm. Alright, that's the line of thinking Kenji will settle with then, and that is his current thinking.
25 is just being entertained by Safos.
Do you think I would be more effective if I had 2 shields instead of 1?
I tried that. It is way less comfortable than you think.
Really?
Because...
Can I hear this conversation?
Yeah.
Well, okay, I actually had an amazing idea about this. What if it was shield? You had a steel chair, and you could use it as a shield, and you had the bottom grip, so you could use it as an offense.
And I could sit in it.
Yes.
To your point,
I would
back, and he immediately walks up to the page of the anime.
To your point.
Then just behind you hear people discussing
whether
or not it's fair.
And in the moment that he's away and talking with animus, I'm going to relay my idea and like my theory to you.
Just you hear, Animus, do you think a chair would make a good weapon? Softballs.
As someone who's been in a bar fight, it doesn't hold up.
But a steel chair. A folding chair.
Softballs, how will you sheath a chair? He goes, a folding chair.
Do I have folding chairs here?
I will make a folding.
I have a response to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. So, my memory is very foggy right now, but...
Was it not?
Shut up, God. Shut up, my own conscience. There's also a possibility that it was intentional by Cahill because he thought Alistair, specifically, dying in the ocean would be a better fate than what this country holds. But that is just a theory on no grounds.
I think, yeah. Well, I think if Cahill wanted us to die, he had a much simpler and easier way of doing it, just cutting every rope, which was already almost done for him.
Right, but to his credit, I think he wanted it to not appear like it was his doing, so Alistair wouldn't know that it was his idea.
I mean, he's still very much the prime suspect.
Oh, I know.
It's the simplest conclusion to draw.
If we wanted, I'm not here, am I?
Nope, it's just us two.
You see your buddies talking.
You can jump in.
What's up, Alistair?
What's up? Are we talking about the holes?
I'll very briefly relay what I'm doing.
Talking about the holes?
I'm asking if the boys are talking about their women.
The deadpan, entirely serious nature the way you said that is
I'm talking about the old ball and chain,
The holes.
The holes.
The lady holes.
Please continue.
Yeah, I'll very briefly relay my theory to you.
As the person who saw it, were they the claw distance?
I think Lissa, I had fought Lissa before. I think she's holding back, she at least held back a significant amount against me.
It was my dad. It was KL. It was KL. He all but confirmed it without confirming it. It was KL.
Alright.
Don't tell anyone, because Animus, I think, already wants to kill him. So I just...
But my question is, do you really think your father is that dumb to leave it that obvious?
Well...
I mean, if we would have fallen, no one would have known.
Dumb or desperate?
What God said.
What God said.
This would be a thought that's occurring to Alistair.
God told me.
He very obviously does not want to be here. He doesn't want me to be here.
It's not a great place.
Have I told you that this is where my family's from?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say.
This is where 25 is from, too.
Oh, origins?
No?
No.
No.
I thought I'd been here before.
You have?
You have been
You're not
here.
from
You're not
here.
from here.
Oh, okay.
You've been here.
That's
though.
my bad.
If we trace your lineage all the way back, you're from the swamps.
Okay.
Before they were swamps.
Okay.
But yeah, he never told me anything about our family history. I'm guessing there's a reason.
Well, if you're certain it's him, and not, I trust your judgment, and I will drop any suspicion of Lissa.
Okay, I'll explain it like this. I asked him if he did it, and he said, "Do you trust me?" And I said yes, and he's like, "Then you don't have to worry about it."
Okay, fair.
That's like, he literally admitted it without fucking admitting it, and it makes me...
Do you look at him?
My dad?
Yeah.
I peek over my shoulder
He's
at him.
watching you three very intently.
Yeah, I peek my shoulder. I peek over and I look at him and I'm like...
I think anything else I can argue here is a bit too metagamey, so I'm just gonna let it. Yeah, go for it. I trust you.
Yep, that's all. I heard you guys talking, and I figured I could add to the conversation.
We're talking about the holes?
Who is this?
Me.
God,
Gabe, Gabe adds a self-insert.
God is back.
Thelonious comes in.
No, not even Felony. It's literally, like, not even a self-insert character. Just a self-insert. Literally just Gabe.
Hey, what's up, guys? Name's Gabe.
He comes out from the village to greet us.
His head popping out of the sand.
Alright, any further discussions to be made before we arrive at the village?
So just confirming, I had just traveled here.
You've been here. You were not from here.
How stuck to Nimbus is Animus currently being?
He is, like...
humoring Sophos about a metal chair.
He's standing very slightly behind her. Talking to Sophos.
I don't think it'll be easy to separate them, especially when he's thirsting over her being a scout for him.
He was trying to walk away from her earlier, and then she said...
Yeah. But now that it's come to that, I don't know. I don't think I think he'll use that reasoning against me, and whatever. I'm fine. Go just heading into town.
So you walk into the center of this village. Town is the wrong word. It is like a series of some very ramshackle-looking wooden huts. There are a lot of fishing nets and boats near the shoreline. And there are like maybe 2 or 3 actual stone and mortar buildings that look like they're a different style from the rest. There are a few places with like lights on or smoke coming from the chimneys. There is a sign at the edge of the village border that says, in Forhamen, welcome to Borogove.
I'll repeat that aloud to the group.
As we're walking, where is Lissa in like our marching?
She is as far back as she can be without occupying the back if Alistair and Cahill want to be there.
Yeah, I guess I'd just like to keep just a side eye on her, and just if she makes anything suspicious movements or is completely inconspicuous, I'd know.
She just looks like very displeased with the current circumstances. Like visibly disgusted. Yeah.
Alright. Yeah.
What was the word one more time?
Welcome to Borogove.
Borogove.
Yeah.
I will read that aloud once it comes into view.
The Animus like kind of snaps.
25 is literate?
You're able to speak this language.
I remember bits and pieces.
Interesting.
Not a complete lie.
He takes the camera, takes another picture of the side and puts it away.
He's like a boomer.
He's a tourist.
You just figure we got a stone for him.
You illiterate fuck. I say that.
I know what it is, I don't speak it.
I don't know what it is.
A Rosetta Stone has just been created for Animus.
In the form of...
Well, he knows what it says.
Animus takes out, pulls out his camera, takes a picture, and says, go to my cringe con. Yes, he does take a picture of the sign after you read it, though.
Writes a comment underneath it.
Selfie.
Animus, do you need a picture with it?
No. My presence here does not need to be recorded.
Selfie.
Honeypot grabs it and takes a group cell phone.
How do you save your pictures between moves?
I silver string them.
You silver string each one individually.
No, I put them in an album, and I silver string them that way.
Interesting.
He claps his hands. Sophos! Sophos!
Open the album.
A chest compartment, hold out a book with like silver binding. Yes, my lord. Add these pictures into the album. Yes, my lord.
Does he have a picture of me?
Give it to you.
Oh, no.
Sophos very carefully like sleeves them into the slots and then puts it back.
I'm going to keep an eye on where he keeps that book.
Hold on, everyone. Ewell, what can you tell us about, what is it,
Borogove. But hey there, looks like you're inquiring about Borogove. Would you like to know more about that?
Yes.
Roll history.
I would like to have made my way up to the front of my Nimbus.
Okay.
14.
Hey there. It looks like the Phalandish texts on this are very limited. Here's what I can find. Borogove is the outskirts of Phaland, Elhore border. It is known to be a fishing village. There is a mayor, and it is primarily populated by a mixture of elves and undead. Or half-cats would be the proper term, sorry. Half-cats and undead. But,
Interesting. What's the name of the legend again?
What legend?
Kingmaker?
Oh, the Kingmaker, yeah. Yes.
Yes.
The Kingmaker.
Well, I'm gonna ask you about the Kingmaker.
But, hey there, looks like you're inquiring about the Kingmaker.
Yes. What do you have on that, Yule?
Animus is like looking at the sword, right?
He was like, she's had this the whole time.
Hey there, it looks like Phalandish texts about the Kingmaker are a little limited. Here's what I can find. The Kingmaker is an ancient relic said to have given Elhore kings of old sight beyond sight, the ability to predict the future. It is thought to have been sealed away after a civil war. But, Animus
When was that Civil War?
But, hey there, historical references are unclear about when it occurred.
But
if you were to trace a timeline, it was before our modern time period, but after the Sleepless Empire also fell into civil war.
Noted.
Yule is like a speaker, right? It's out loud.
Yeah.
So everybody hears it. 25 seems like visibly uncomfortable as we're walking, listening to it.
Okay, and then I put Yule back. Continue.
Does Animus is Animus adding that picture to the album as well?
The picture.
No, you have to take a picture. Before you put it away, Animus says, actually, could I ask your spirit question?
What do you want to ask him?
Mr. Yule, sir, could I ask you if there is any documentation of an assassin's guild in Elhore? But, hey there, it looks like you're inquiring about an assassin's guild in Elhore. Here's what I could find. Phalandish texts about the king's hand are very limited, but records indicate they swore allegiance to the king under undead oath to defend the crown, even past the fall of the Civil War. But, interesting.
Something to keep an eye out for, I guess.
So, you made pictures for your way.
They were called the King's Guard?
King's Hand.
Oh, King's Hand, okay.
Does that name strike a bell to me?
Fairly.
I know the name.
Your dad's totally a King's Hand.
Did you say this out loud?
He goes, oh, Alice.
Kenny is not an idiot.
That's one of the King's Hand.
Kenny's not smart enough to think that connection. But obviously, it's probably doing it to Cole. Oh, it's your dad's part of the King's Hand.
I mean, that's badass as fuck, but...
That gives him actual motive.
That is such a cool name for, like, a secret police force, like a secret enforcing.
I'm glad you think so.
Because that's, like, it sounds so...
Just call it the King's Foot.
It's the king's hand. It's the hands of the king.
Yeah.
Which just sounds like this king is a sketchy, backhanded motherfucker.
How about the King's Elbow?
The King's...
Armpit.
The King's Patella.
No, that's
No, those are the colonizers.
The King's Heel.
Alright, well, you're all standing in the town square now.
The King's...
No, we haven't seen any people.
Oh, actually, Nimbus, can I ask you one more question?
Yeah, sure. I'll bring it on again.
Mr. Yule, sir, is there a tavern in Borogove? But, hey there! There's a sign over there. But, I can't read that language.
I'll read it to you. I'll read it.
Yule, is there a King...
Not out loud. I want to read it first.
It's called... There's a word that you're not sure what it means. Walk. It's the walk's shadow.
The boardwalk.
It's a blank walk.
Walk as in W-O-C-K.
not like the thing you put with.
The Jabberwock.
Yes, as in Jabberwock.
Okay, we'll walk. Well, we'll walk over.
That's about as good place to start as any, I suppose.
We haven't seen any people walking around, and it's like first thing in the morning.
It's just before sunrise.
Just before sunrise.
Is the ground here like mostly sand, or is it?
It's rock and sand.
Okay.
Very dry, arid.
Has Kyrie been leaving glass footsteps?
Slightly, yeah. Not quite glass, but more like smooth rock melt. Do you open the tavern door?
Yeah. Well, I knock first to see if it's locked.
You hear someone say, "Come in!"
I will open the... What language do they say come in?
Borogove.
Okay. And then I will open the door.
There are a very few scattered groups of people. There look to be some half-cats, or we would be defining as elves in base D&D, where they have humanoid build, but very like cat-like ears and cat-like nose and some whiskers, more animalistic features. Some what appear to be undead, but also about an even mix of undead and red bloods as well.
Undead, as in like what type of undead?
Dark bloods. Not quite decayed. They look to be like in mostly good condition. It's kind of weird.
Like him, or like
zombie almost. Okay. Zombie skeleton. Some of them seem to be wearing their dead skin like clothes. Like there's like a sailor who's got like his tattooed sleeves rolled up, but it's actually his skin. And he's got like bone arms.
What do you do with an undead sailor?
We've killed those.
They didn't have their skin.
What?
They didn't have their skin though.
This is true.
The barkeep turns to face the door. You see where his eyes should be. There are instead coins, alluring coins like the one Faust gave you.
I don't think you would like you sticking your hands in there.
I'm going to walk over to the bar, and sit down in front of him.
Everyone kind of like looks at you for a second because you are quite a strange group. The barkeep asks very loudly, "Will you be drinking tonight?"
Yes.
"Have you coin?"
Some.
All right. And everybody seems to like kind of relax a little bit and then turns back to their tables.
Is anyone looking at like?
We all stand out.
When you walk in the room, Cahill picks up his host and he picks up yours too.
Like as he's putting up his, he like reaches over,
yes.
just fucking yanks my hood over my head.
Yes.
Oh, I had a feeling that's what the situation is going to be in this room.
And he gives you a look, like one that like kind of digs back to your childhood, where you almost feel like, ooh.
The dad look.
Yeah.
Okay, so being able to speak their language, do I overhear any like whispers or anything referring to us, or to specifically me or Alistair and Cahill?
That dude in the orange looks stupid.
I should have rephrased. When after he says if you have coin, people are still very much on edge, but they're not looking directly at you anymore.
Okay.
There are whispers about you, yes. Do you listen in?
I try to.
Roll perception.
15 plus.
Actually, just roll a quick perception check. This applies to everybody.
30, 20.
14.
Who has a witch sign out?
Oh, I'm at 26!
That'd be me, and I also don't want to talk about it.
I'll have hand wraps on.
So yours is visible?
Mine is visible. It's always visible.
Is your witch sign visible?
I'm guessing that him making me pull my hood up, I probably would have.
Rolled your sleeves down.
Like, or at least tried to cover it somehow.
There are some people that are whispering about strangers. A lot of people are looking at your witch sign, and they are saying things about the cult of shields and having already paid tithe, wondering why they're back in town.
This is all in Forhamen?
Yes.
So none of them understand any of this?
You just feel very uncomfortable because people are looking
Oh, I don't feel uncomfortable
at
with it.
your witch sign specifically.
Yeah.
And the barkeep is very guarded.
Okay. Do I hear any...
And after he says if you have coin, he asks, will you be paying for your drinks tonight?
Yes. Well, I said yes originally when he said, would you be paying for your drinks?
Okay.
Kenji's going to take a seat that's like at a table directly adjacent to like everyone that's staring at him.
People get up and leave as soon as you sit down.
Do I hear the word sentinel get whispered?
No.
No? Okay.
Just wondering why they are here. We already paid for them. Why are they here?
Okay. I will walk up to the barkeep. This is weird. The 25 doesn't talk. This isn't my doing.
Like when I sit down, they get up and leave. Are they leaving the entire bar?
No.
Or are they leaving to a
They like back away to somewhere else where they can gossip about you from a distance.
Yeah. I'll turn in like a half a grin on my face and just kind of stare and just smile.
Some people are beginning to like bristle, and you see two people brandishing blades underneath the table.
I'm going to pull you up with me to the bar.
Animus approaches of his own volition.
I'm going to pull out the Elhore coin. This is a gold coin, right? So it has.
The one that Faust gave you, yes.
Would I remember that gold has like enough value to buy a few things, or would it be like one drink for one gold coin?
You don't know. Partially because inflation.
Sure. I'm going to sit it down and ask for 2 drinks, one for me and one for her.
Roll persuasion at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Or intimidation, neutral.
Yeah, I'm going to go intimidation for
Well, are you paying tonight? Yes, but at half price.
Can I add my strength to my intimidation, being that I am like just an imposing figure?
That's not an act of strength. That would be charisma.
Okay, well, it's better. Yeah, it's better to do intimidation straight. It's going to be a 15.
He looks down at the coin and then up at you.
And then I'll say, just needing a quick drink while we're passing through.
There's a very clear, tense pause. He nods. 2 drinks coming up. And when he turns to the tap, Alistair, how much are you paying attention right now?
Oh, I am on like the highest amount of guard.
When he pours out the mug, he taps the side of the mug.
And like a
3 short, 3 long, 3 short.
That SOS?
Yeah, that's SOS.
None of you perceive this because he and Cahill are uniquely attuned to this sort of thing. But what you all do see is some customers in the back get up and leave very quickly and very purposefully.
While he's doing that, I'm going to turn to you and I'm going to hope for the best. I don't remember what all of my languages are, but in a different language.
The barkeep comes back and he says, "There you are, Sentinel, sir."
Thank you.
Addressing all 3, you, Animus, and Nimbus.
Yeah. Kenji goes, "Where's everyone going? Bingo?"
I mean, we can't understand him, right?
No.
No.
You see him.
He was told you Sentinel.
The light glints off the coins in his eyes in a very tense, sort of assertive kind of.
In a different language that you understand, and I'm going to hope that he does not. I'm going to say we need to go. After he hands us the 2 drinks, I will chug mine.
No, I throw it back.
She throws back, and then I move to leave.
Okay.
Oh god, a grenade. Throw it back.
I want out of here. I do not want to be here.
Okay, please continue.
Alright, so I tell, setting down the coin, I go, "I just want a drink while we're passing through." He says, "Sentinel, sir," and I say, "Thank you," and then we'll throw it back. She throws it back, and then, yep, like the grenade, and then I'm getting us out of here. I'm trying to leave.
You turn and you open the door to the tavern, and there are already people with fishing spears and torches, forming a half circle around the door.
Fuck.
You just walk through it.
Their problem?
One of the more audacious looking people, he seems to be undead with a lot of hanging skin and wounds, points his fishing spear at you and says, his harpoon, he says, "We already paid tithes for this month. We don't need your kind sniffing around here all the time."
I just wanted a drink while passing through.
I'm just thirsty.
Exactly.
Want a drink.
I just wanted a drink passing through. It's all the coin I had on me.
Roll Persuasion a disadvantage or intimidation neutral again.
It's going to be an 18
for
intimidation. It is a minus. It's a -1 to both.
Why are you trying to scare these people?
It's a -1 to both, and disadvantage is so much worse. It is kind intimidation, because I'm not trying to scare him. I'm trying to be very direct with my words.
Yeah,
here
I know.
And stern.
But you are still intimidating someone.
Yeah, your presence is intimidating.
Intimidation checks are easier, but the outcome is different.
We'll do persuasion then.
Disadvantage.
Yeah. 0.
Fuck.
Would you like to stick with your intimidation?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Yes, I would.
The spirit kind of like shakes in his hands for a little bit, and he leans over to someone next to him and he goes. They nod and they run out of the crowd.
Is he speaking for common to them?
Yes.
Okay. Or for common? I forget.
I mean, you no more trouble. We are moving on.
They don't part.
I will take a step forward. I assume all of them were like kind of huddled behind me.
Some of them like back away.
I will put like both my hands up and like an showing gesture. We are just passing through. I mean to cause you no harm. You guys have already paid, and we appreciate that.
You see one of these stone buildings, one of the nicest buildings, opens up, and someone in like very noble-looking clothing steps out, walks towards the group and says, "What is it?" This isn't for Haman. "What are you all doing? It's 5 in the fucking morning!"
He says it's in for Haman.
Yeah.
So they just see this dude come up and start shouting.
And the guy with the spear, who's like pretty battle-hardened, goes, "Well, it's the Sentinels, the cold chills, they come back to, we already paid taxes this month! Show me the Sentinel!" I'm kind of like...
I'm just standing there.
Someone walks forward into the very noble-looking clothing, half cat in stature, undead from the lack of skin color. Hairless, cat, half cat, eye patch, coin in the other eye, walks forward, looks at you all.
Morning.
Is the coin in the eye a funerary practice here?
You know that only the undead have coins in their eyes.
Right.
Looks at your witch sign, looks at all. I'll take care of this from here.
Oh, I'm still in the bar, by the way. I'm not outside.
Then he looks at you all. Looks at you and Cahill then.
He looks closer to and sees who we are.
He walks up to you. Do you stop him?
No, I don't.
He pulls your hood back. He looks behind your ear. He turns and nods to the group. "I will take care of these sentinels. You all go back to sleep. But did I stutter?"
Did I fucking stutter?
Yes, sir. Of course, Mr. Mayor, sir. And they all disperse. And he turns to you all and he says, in common, "Follow me."
There's one last thing I'd like to do at the bar first.
Okay.
Kenji, not understanding any of this language, is going to go. It's going to say in common. Well, I assume you guys can't understand me, so you take the level 1 healing potion and point like a drink. Can I trade this for a drink? I like put it on the counter and like push it to him,
Kenji!
and like put the glass.
You just roll a ball in front of us.
Looks at you like you're stupid.
Kenji,
Will
will you
you
make...
press the point?
Oh well, healing potions still work on you. It's not like it's hard.
No, I know, but I'm shouting through the door, Kenji, we're leaving.
Do you press the point? Do you push the potion further?
I'll push the potion and then I'll just leave if he's not giving me a drink.
He takes it and he hands you a mug and like shakes his head in like a condescending kind of way.
Sorry, man. That's good.
You better throw back. We're leaving.
Oh yeah, you don't get a D6 inspiration because you have drank alcohol.
Oh, he gave me a mug.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I thought he said I didn't like he. I completely misinterpreted it like he did not give me a drink.
He doesn't give you a drink.
Okay.
He's being like very
throwing
rude.
it back in,
Yes.
right? So.
I'm aware.
No, I mean I've seen that meme. Two people in a trench. It's like Sergey, the fucking grenade, throw it back, and the dude is just like.
Yeah. Well, my logic there was he heavily underpaid for his drink. As far as we understood, at least in Argold, and I'm assuming it's a a pretty equivalent exchange rate. It's 1 gold for 1 drink. And if a level 1 healing potion is about 10 gold, I would figure I'd just overpay.
Is Kenji smart enough for all this math?
Well, okay.
It's intuition.
Kenji's like, we're not liked here. I'll just overpay. And that's really
trying to gain favor.
That's why, okay, first of all, it's trading related. A sentinel, what is he doing? Are you kidding me? This guy's terrible at his job. But
alright, so we're out front.
As I leave, I smile and wave back to the barkeep, and as I head out, it's a good genuine smile.
We're out front. The mayor's standing in front of us.
You may call me Mayor Chess.
Morning.
Is everyone here pointing their weapons?
No, she's first.
Okay.
You will follow me into my hall.
Is this in common?
Yeah, she's speaking in common.
And we're following you because
I'm saving your asses.
I mean,
fair. I
We'll
guess.
follow.
You walk into the mayoral hall. It's a large office building. One office.
A singular office building.
It is lined from floor to ceiling with bookshelves, dusty old tomes. There's a large map, what looks like Elhore, against the far wall. And she's got this big old desk covered in stacks of papers. And the whole room kind of reeks of rotten fish.
Never.
Yeah.
So, how are you saving our asses?
Hold on, I'm reading my
I was gonna say he's reading.
I prevented the mob from slicing you into little pieces.
They didn't really look like they were about to do anything.
Then I saved you from having to kill my whole village.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a valid point.
Which would have been very bad for you. Trust me.
Probably would have been bad for you too.
Now, what are 11 Phalandish people doing in my 9 Phalandish people doing in my village? Can you explain?
Is Animus taking any leads in negotiation here, or conversation?
He's very fucking.
Or is he shrieking back? And
So for the 11,
Animus is waiting for someone from your group. Sorry, he's waiting to see if someone from your group wants to address.
Isn't there 10 of us?
so
11.
there's 11 of us. She's referring to not those two as. Am I being referred to as Phelan?
She seems to be excluding.
5 of Machina,
Yeah.
5 of us, and then Kyrie.
She's calling you guys Phalandish, and she's calling Cahill and Alistair Elhorans.
Okay.
Animus, Lissa, Nyx.
Nyx is not.
I forgot about it.
Oh, she's not here?
No.
So we only have 10.
Yeah, we only have 10 there.
No, there's 5 of you.
Each of us have a
5
partner.
of us.
Oh, sorry,
Kyrie
there is
plus
10.
4.
I thought that Shostin had a partner for some reason.
Shostin is
I thought his partner was Nyx.
No.
That's Lissa.
Okay.
Nyx didn't join us.
There's 10. So she said, sorry, what are 8 Phalandish people doing in my village?
Passing through.
For what purpose?
We are looking for an item of importance and exploration. For knowledge's sake.
Animus walks forward and says, what do you know of the Kingmaker?
I was about to say that exact same thing.
Did you say that? Did you say that?
Like at the same time.
Yeah. Actually, if you start saying it, I'm gonna say it too.
What do you know of the Kingmaker? Who wants to know?
Us.
Me.
Uh,
What if I told you the Minutemen want to know?
Doesn't ring a bell, sorry.
Is there a big problem if it's who wants to know?
Cahill suddenly interjects, we're really sorry about interrupting you. Let's get on with it.
Do you have any knowledge?
Ignore it.
Everyone looked at him and then...
And he says like that. I'm sure you are aware. Okay, out of him. Should I just tell her the fucking plan?
Just fucking go with
Okay, because 25 doesn't give a shit. He would be honest. You're familiar with the moon falling, correct? I'm sure you can see it over the horizon.
I've had my suspicions.
Okay, yeah, well, it's collapsing.
None of the work of you Phalandish
Who knows? We're trying to figure that out, actually, and we're trying to prevent it because it wipes out the whole planet.
I can see that happening.
You're familiar with the legend of the Kingmaker allowing for sight beyond sight, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to see where her history is at.
Just tell her that we need the sight beyond sight.
And we are looking forward to help prevent this moon falling if we can.
So you are telling me that you want me to give a group of 8 strangers from another country the location of our sacred relic that gave our kings power of old just because?
Is it something you have the power to give?
I know things about it. If you want to know where it is, I can set you on the right path.
What's the harm of just sharing information? Do you think we can genuinely get it?
Listen, red blood. When you get as old as me, you learn to know that information is power. All right?
I mean, I know. I understand that concept.
No, I know that you can know it, but to understand it and to experience it are different things.
I personally take a different view of power is power. Anything can be power.
Anyway,
anything
power.
Yes.
Power.
Power!
Anything is powerful enough as long as you make use of it.
Ignoring him, yes. Darkblood to Darkblood, we are asking for assistance.
You don't know what that means. Invoking that sort of name. How am I to be sure that you're not actually a sentinel? Mr. Number on his arm?
I have long sleeves, but no.
She says that even if you have long sleeves.
Fair.
I know your kind. I was
You're just a dog. I know what you are.
I was there. All right. I know what you look like. You can't lie to me.
I'm not trying to.
Tell me the truth. What are you doing here?
We are looking for this item.
Animus also says, truthfully, we are seeking up the Kingmaker to save the world. In one way or another.
I'm not lying to you, nor have I pretended to be.
Your world ends either way. Would you rather end your possible spiritual world, your cultural world, by allowing us to possibly save the collective world?
Truth be told, I'm old. I don't really care much for what's left of the world. The few things I do care about are the crown and our history. And with that, she gestures to the vast swath of books around her.
I mean, you clearly cared about the people here.
They are mine.
I'm gonna start going towards the books. Did she stop me at all?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna look for if there's anything that's like related to lore.
They're all for on.
Yeah, I don't know if we can read any of them.
Yeah. If he truly didn't care about the fate of these people here, you would have come out and put a stop to this.
Roll persuasion.
Somebody other than me rolling persuasion.
Back to 20. Finally, you rolled a good roll. Above 10.
I do care very much about the people in my ward. This is my village, understand?
Mm-hmm.
Mine to protect, therefore. So you must understand my hesitance to allow such valuable knowledge into the hands of people I barely know.
Well, then, at least tell... Well, if you don't feel like telling us about the Kingmaker, can you at least tell us about this? Yeah, I pull this up. Why is everyone so afraid of this?
They think that those are sentinel numbers. Truth be told, I don't know what that is.
See what I was going to say?
Oh, so that means that there's more sentinels. Where?
Do you say this?
Yeah, I asked, where are these other sentinels?
They're the cult of shields.
Do you know where they're located?
Yes.
Where are they located?
Why do you desire to know?
These people, you would label them as oppressors or enemies, right? They're not your friends.
I had not gone so far as to say that outright. I had implied it, yes.
They're not your friends, correct?
No.
So then what danger does it pose to you if you share information?
Should be confused lately.
If you give us the location...
Did you not know this?
Do I not know what?
They are your sworn enemy.
A coat of shields? The king's hand?
Oh, that. No, I know nothing about my family's history.
Cahill is visibly sweating.
I've never been here. I've never heard any of these names.
Cahill interjects in Four Hobbin. My son does not know very much.
Hey, you. At least
asshole!
Hey.
Speaking of language, I hear my name.
Yeah.
He says my name, and I hear my name, and I'm like, bitch.
Yeah. Animus looks visibly furious.
Yeah. Hey. You know what? At least you were living up by your birthright when you went after him the first time.
Yep.
So you are not from here then, she says in common.
No.
She looks at Cahill, but really looking. Animus is killing Cahill with his eyes right now. He looks like he's about to strangle him.
I'm gonna guess that Animus asked for information on this place, and Cahill was like, I don't know.
She turns to Cahill, and you are from this place. She says, in common, that you can all understand.
So is it Cahill?
He could just say no and then talking for.
Well,
he asked yes or no in Four Common, and we won't know.
He already spoke in Four Hobbin, which is a dead giveaway.
I hate to inform you all, you're asking the wrong person. Well, I could tell you, but you already have someone who can tell you everything you need to know. Animus finally grabs Cahill by his collar. What is the meaning of this, Cahill?
I take him off.
You.
I will separate Animus from Cahill.
Okay.
Okay, listen. This isn't the time to be fighting. We're here on the same mission.
I agree, and I thought that was the premise. He says, giving
It must have slipped Cahill's mind at the time. I'm sure all the procedures he's been through haven't been great for the old.
We left his memories intact, per his request. Softbox can attest to that. He was the technician.
What is the mayor think?
Have you ever heard of something called trauma?
Yes, I am all too familiar with trauma.
So you can understand there are ways beyond taking memories that can still affect the mind.
Roll persuasion.
Fuck, I use that shit charisma!
Go.
10! Actually, wait, no, I have my inspiration from him.
Yeah, give me your inspiration.
15!
I suppose that could be a reasonable explanation. But I will keep my mind undecided for the moment. Cahill, you and I have very much to discuss.
Can I look at Lyssa's
when our
reaction?
guests are not present. Lyssa is deadpan.
Deadpan? Okay.
I mean, she's like a doll, so she's pretty much always
Would you
agree.
mind humoring me
Body language
a little
still.
bit? I say this in Four Hobbin.
Two.
The mayor.
Okay.
So, what'd you say?
That is Miss Chess, sir, to you. Settle.
I'm just deadpan. Well, I don't say her name or the mayor itself.
You are addressing her, are you not?
Yes.
So she says that.
Okay. Miss Chess?
Sir.
Sir,
Thank you.
would you mind humoring me, please?
In what way?
Some information on the Kingmaker.
Oh, this year.
What about?
Its location, if possible. Or is it held by the Cult of Shields?
I am under oath not to state where it is. But I can tell you who can.
You can tell us where it is.
And that is?
Does my dad know these can?
Yeah, your dad knows these kids.
Okay. I haven't.
Sorry, what was that?
And that is, or who that is?
Why? So, yes, I am somewhat convinced that you want to help. Which is fine, because I want my village to live on. But I don't know how capable you are. I don't know if this is something I should entrust you with.
We just literally get here.
No,
I think that's pretty hard to get here.
She's speaking in Borogove.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. This is a better shot at getting her to talk to me.
No, that's fair.
I need you to provide some way to me to know that you are competent enough to deserve this information. And really, she points at Cahill visibly, he should know where it is.
He has been less than helpful.
He also hasn't been. Oh, God. Poor comment. Fuck.
He has been
She
less.
said that. She said that last line in comments.
He
He should know where it is.
He hasn't been here in a very long time.
It doesn't move.
Mm-hmm.
He has been less than what you would call helpful in our endeavors.
Yes, I've surmised as much.
Damn.
And as far as capable, then that is.
I mean, do you have
Okay,
any,
so-
do you have any other
Just sitting
options
there.
for capable people?
Do you want to fight?
Please tell me this isn't something where we have to, like,
Roll persuasion.
go on a side quest to prove that we know what we're doing.
9.
Look, my options are limited. I just need to know that you're on the side of the crown,
We're
not
on,
the shield.
we're on the side of preserving the planet at the moment.
That's not important to me.
We're on the side of the crown.
Do you mean that?
I do.
Do all of you know and understand what that means?
So you said that in common, right?
No, I've been speaking in Forhamen the whole time.
Well, I have no
The
idea.
only
I have no idea what word.
She can speak in common.
Yeah, well, okay. Based on the flow of that conversation, he said, we stand for blah, 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 blah. Do you all understand and know what that means?
She's been speaking in common.
Okay.
Sorry, then you can talk to your dad. I just want to do that.
You can go first.
Oh, I was just gonna like try to thieves' can and be like, why are you not
Helping.
sharing information?
Trust me.
Like, take a
This is beyond me trusting you.
The King's Hand and I are not on good terms.
Because you left.
You don't understand.
No, I don't, and it would really be appreciated if you would help me understand.
This could wait until later.
Obviously, it can't.
And then she hits you all with the question while you're arguing with Cahill. Are you on the side of the crown or not? That which I need to know.
We want what's best for Elhore. We want what's best for Elhore.
The crown.
Yes.
I turn, ignoring my dad, and I say, it is my bloodline to support the king.
Your dad face palms.
I look at him and I'm like, this is what you get for not explaining things.
It's not that simple. Fine, he says. I am the crown.
Thank you.
Very well. Follow the old road, the old promenade, to the city of Nergal-Dur, the sunken city. Seek out the King's Hand. He should know the way. She points at Cahill. They can lead you to the Kingmaker.
Easy enough?
Thank you for your time.
Just get out of my sight.
Get the fuck out of my house!
Just get out of my village, she says. Not sight. That's overly rude. Out of my village, that's enough rude.
Unacceptable, not rude.
I would like to stay in the office for a moment and just have a one-on-one talk there once everyone else is moving out.
Okay.
Okay. Does no one else want to say anything? Okay. No other questions?
Kenji, don't waste too much time. I just say that before I leave the room.
Bruh.
I will be entirely honest with you. I am not on the side of the crown. I am on the side of the king.
Oh my fucking god!
If you are trying to deceive us and can't you activate our briefing here, I will ensure that the crown comes to an end.
She is unfazed.
I fight for people.
She raises one eyebrow and says, Do I really look like the kind of person to tell lies to you all?
You seem like the type of person who is hesitant to tell us. And you seem like the type of person You seem like the type of person that would...
You're complete strangers.
Yes. I've simply had I've had bad experiences with people in power.
That's fine. This is not your country.
But I think most living beings can go through similar experiences. All living and non-living beings, I should clarify.
Stay in your lane. And then she opens the book.
I help all. I'll help them. I will
completely ignored.
Yeah. Kenji does not have a lane to stay in at the moment.
We're outside.
Anyways, it's like me, like grabbing Cahill again, like putting him up against the wall.
Call, what are you doing? You have been putting the mission in jeopardy and keeping secrets? I did not think it was relevant. Harbinger, sir. You will address me as Animus. Animus, sir. I did not think it was relevant.
Enough. It's too late now. We will continue with the mission, and you will continue to help us, yes? Yes. Yes, what? Yes, Animus, sir. Good. And Animus begins to walk towards the old road. Sophos goes, you really got him, boss. Good job.
Shut the fuck up.
He doesn't reply.
Man, can you shut the
Lucille walks past and she says, I knew this mission was doomed to fail.
Wow. Negative Nancy over here.
Does Alice
So what did I miss with trying to intimidate?
He failed.
Miss Chester.
Kenji made a good point about power being fully corruptive. Absolutely corruptive. Absolute power always corrupts. Chet said, this isn't your country. You can't know.
Yeah,
get out of my sight.
And I before I left, I attempted to rebuttal at least with that. I don't care who it is. I'll save anyone.
And then Animus put Cahill in his place.
What did he do?
He put him up against the wall. Like, are you on our side or are you not? He's like, I didn't think it was relevant. Stop keeping secrets. Fine, I will. Address me as your leader. Fine, sir. You'll be helping us from this point? Yes, sir. Very well.
You also referred to him as Harbinger.
And then Sophos made a comment, and Lissa said that she knew this mission was doomed to fail.
I feel like we've heard Harbinger before.
Yes, it was his Night Society name.
The one that Percy uncovered.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is what Cahill knew him as for a long time.
Yep.
Start walking. Gotta make the most out of the day.
These boots were made for walking.
I don't wear boots.
Fuck.
I do.
Yeah.
Your feet look enough like boots.
Yes.
Do you wear clothes?
I wear like commoners like pants and a shirt. I don't necessarily need them, but
More conventional.
yeah. I don't stand out as much if I look like, so like we had like uniforms and shit, so like we wore clothes. You know, an oversized long sleeve shirt and some fucking like cloth pants and a cloak. Trousers.
Alright. As you all turn to leave, the door from as you all turn to leave, the door from the mayor's office opens back up. She approaches you, Kenji, and says, I feel the need, as foreigners in my land, to give you my assurance that the crown is on the side of good. Alright?
I believe you.
You'll need these. And she gives you a map and a book.
Scroll with comprehend languages.
A map and what?
A book, which conveniently, when held, has comprehend languages on the user. Whoa!
What is
Look
it?
at that. When you hold the book, it gives you the effects of comprehend languages. I've only got one of those. Make it count. And then she turns to leave.
You should take this.
Why me?
You're the most efficient of us
I think
here.
Nimbus has suddenly become the leader.
Yeah.
I have 0 charisma. I have 0 riz.
Hey, it doesn't matter. I also have 0 runes. I got
It's more about being able to comprehend and understand information rather than.
Yeah.
My wit stat is too low.
You are the commanding
Let's be honest.
officer.
You want to change you with the power.
No, I'll
The
take
most hard to relate to
With a map,
human
too.
being on the planet,
Yeah,
but you
I
are
know.
such a badass, nobody gives a shit.
Name is 0 Riz. Level 100
Badass.
So, with the book and the map, let's go.
Can you read the map at all? I'm assuming there's text on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it say?
Well, when you hold the book, you're able to tell what it says. There are several
Can I
different...
use the book into Yule?
Hey, Yule, read this book.
You might have an alchemist be able to...
If only we had an alchemist!
Sorry, guys, I'm all
Do you think
alchemy
that's
out.
strategically sound to fit the book into your spear?
Not right now, but I was just asking more, maybe
So,
future
yeah.
things.
Then it becomes dependent on whoever holds the spear, and there could be a scenario where you need to have Yule for combat, and then someone else needs to talk or understand.
I'm just asking.
Yes, you could do it. Theoretically.
Is the book a spellcasting focus?
No.
Not that you so.
There are several paths you can take to the sunken city of Nergal-Dur. There is the old road, the promenade, the ruined promenade, the dry riverbed, the slim gorge, the old harbor, the ruined township, the crumbling bridge, and trade roads, and the stale.
Do you have a map you could send us?
I can draw one.
Oh.
Perfect.
I have not had.
I like it to the visuals.
Okay.
Well, so they said that finding the King's Hand would be easiest by going through the old road. So do we want to start there?
Okay, so you have the old road here. This goes to the promenade. The promenade leads to... I knew I should have made a map. Stupid. I'm angry about this.
What did you make? A flowchart?
A series of paragraphs.
Flowchart!
This leads to the ruined promenade. This leads to the dry riverbed.
This is the RP. I love RP. We should do it.
Roleplay!
So you can have the map made by next week.
The ruined promenade heads to the old township and the ruined harbor. The old harbor. Dry riverbed leads to the...
Wet riverbed.
This is the ruined township. This is the old harbor. The dry riverbed leads to the old harbor and to the slim gorge.
Slim Gorge?
What about thick?
Gorge.
The slim gorge heads to the stale tunnels. I will make a map by next week, I promise. Well, I should not promise that, but I will have it done.
You already promised
In
it.
the future.
Once we're done.
Because then I actually do it.
Well, if we don't meet next week,
Are we not meeting next week?
I'm out of town.
Aww.
Bruh!
I
The
said
whole
this
weekend?
2 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
quizzle again.
she did.
Surely you can come back like Sunday night.
I'm driving back from Illinois, so I can't guarantee I will be back at like a reasonable time.
We can meet at midnight Monday morning.
No.
Why not?
Because we don't work.
Because I work.
Well, you could just go to bed at like 2, wake up at 10, and then be ready.
Oh boy.
Wake up at 10?
We wake up at
2 p.m.
Yeah?
Wake up at 10 p.m.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Now you're up for the next
Well,
one.
I have to be awake until 5. That would completely fuck my sleep schedule.
I wake up at 6 every day, dog. I'm not doing that.
So,
Trying to wake up
For the
at
sake of
7.
D&D, you must.
It's closer to 6:30.
you start here at the old road.
Right hand rule. What's our destination?
All of these endpoints lead to the sunken city from different access points.
Right hand rule.
Okay, we got cock and balls. We got Robert Taylor.
Yeah, fucking Ohio.
We got roleplay and dungeon rolls.
We got Star Guardians. You got
Snapchat?
Saint.
Do we want to be done now? Is this a good stopping point? Because it's almost 1 o'clock.
I am fine.
We did chat for a whole hour though.
I do have somewhere to be. are
When you gotta
pretty
leave?
to do. I have homework I put off that I really need to do. That's gonna take a while. I'd like to get start. I'd like to be out of here by like 1:30 at the latest.
We could play for another 45.
Yeah.
If that works.
Okay.
It's also up to Dave. You have an exam tomorrow. Do you need to?
It's all the time.
You
I don't have to work tomorrow. I took this shift off, so I have pretty much all day to study.
Touch you with my pretty finger.
That's what your mom said.
My tummy is wumbling.
Alright, we got 45 minutes. So, the promenade? How do you...
Promenade?
Promenade. I googled it to learn what the word meant, but I can't remember how to say it.
Promenade.
Suck my nuts.
Pros. Suck my nuts.
Cons. Nuts needing to be sucked.
My face when she sucked my nuts and I'm a gangster.
Sugma.
Me when.
More like ligma.
Ooh.
Get fucked.
You heard of mine, go.
I fell for that.
I think Gabe was the best Joe Mama.
Like
the second day of moving into this house.
I can't believe Tears of the Kingdom is coming out literally the week of finals.
What? I don't
Bro,
feel like
don't
I
remember
remember this. What was the...
It was like our second day of class, and I got home, and I was like, hey, I met a new guy. Gabe was like, what's his name? I was like, Joe. He was like, Joe who?
Well, you had been complaining that you felt like you weren't making friends in your classes. So you're like, oh, I met someone. I'm like, oh, you're not making friends. This is great. And then you twisted that on me.
Yes, sir.
You stabbed me in the back and you twist the knife.
Hey, you know what?
The best part is I did meet a guy named
grinded change
Joe.
echoes throughout all of last year's finals week, so
Hmm?
I grinded change echoes throughout all of last year's finals week and ignored several for the.
Bruh.
So I'm sure I can do the same with Tears of the Kingdom. Surely, right?
So, do we head down the old road?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
No.
Well, contrary to what you might expect, it is indeed an old road. It is dusty, the cobbles are worn away.
Alistair sprains an ankle.
Most of the signs are weathered. It looks like there's like a few sections in the road where like cart ruts somewhat frequently go through. The rest of it's gone to shit. You might as well be hiking through desert terrain because it's all sand and dirt.
Old road,
Yeah,
more like old
rocks.
chode.
Who's leading the way? I assume Nimbus with the map.
I guess this Nimbus will be the de facto leader now. Yeah.
I'll be chilling up front with you.
I expect Animus is probably also near me.
And this is almost always right next to you. Unless he's talking to his underlings.
Okay, onward.
Is this like a really narrow road?
Yes.
So you walk like in like
Shoulder.
3 or 4 or something? Since you said a cart fits on it.
Yeah. Or you can just walk on the side.
I'm going to... So, are there... You said there were some rundown buildings? Or not on this area?
Not in this area.
Okay. I will keep an eye out for any like signage or anything of note that might be somewhat intact.
Do we pass on to the promenade otherwise?
Yeah.
Okay. The old road begins to slope up on the edge of like some cliff sides. It turns into like a sort of marble pathway that's been sort of halfway carved, has been constructed out of the cliff face. There are lots of like marble pillars erected around the area. There's also areas that sit down towards the shoreline, but you stick mostly close to the cliff side. There's like it looks a little precarious, lots of falling rocks, but mostly interestingly of note, there are stone reliefs carved into the rock face. Lots of abandoned carts and also other modes of transportation lie around the area.
Do you want to take your turn?
No, not really. I don't know. I'm frustrated with how.
Then kill him.
Again, no.
Bruh.
Keep marching.
I'm frustrated with how I'm failing to think of the word. How he's being so distant and just not giving me information when it would be that easy. Like I get what he's trying to get at, but it makes no fucking sense. Which, do parents do things that make no sense because they think it will help their children? Yes, all the time.
Looking back, your father has always struck you as somewhat of a coward.
That has been reinforced that every time Animus speaks.
I know. Which is also kind of frustrating. Because Alistair is not a coward. He knows when to pick fights, but he's not a coward. And seeing someone with equal, if not at one point, more impressive skills than what he has, seeing that person being belittled is very frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and it's my dad.
Hey, my dad.
You don't want to see your dad be a little bitch.
Your dad's boss basically just yelled at him on Take Your Kid to Work Day.
Getting disciplined on Take Your Kid to Work Day. This poor man.
Keep chugging along.
Yeah.
Do you stop to examine the stone reliefs?
I'll take a glance at it as we're walking.
Some of them appear to depict a city sinking into the ground. People surrounding it are flat on the ground, prostrate, seemingly weeping. And above them appears to be what looks like figures with tails and hoods whipping them. There's an inscription beneath that has entirely almost been weathered away, but a few Elhore words are visible that say, "Ruin from the east."
My bad.
You continue walking until another one that you can make out appears that says, "No, this is not say." Sorry.
Are you able to comprehend the entire scripture a bit? Scripture?
No, the rest has been weathered away.
Oh, okay.
The next carving you see depicts like a wheel-shaped object with a crest of arms over it. What?
Like, you mean a coat of arms?
No, I'm trying to make sense of my notes.
A cog, but not in those words.
The shape is seven-sided, with the bottom six being of hands and the top side being of a broken crown.
Oh, I see. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. So
I don't know what I meant.
The crest. It's the crest itself over the wheel, as you said. It's a septagon, and everything except the flat top side has a hand coming out of it, and it's a broken crown.
Someone appears to have taken a sharp object and scratched a line through the crown, making it appear broken. Sorry, the crown is not supposed to be broken.
Okay.
Someone has scratched a line through it, making it appear to be broken. The map says that you should be wary of bandits in this area.
You can check my psychological notes.
Do you wish to roll a stealth check as a group?
Pass set of trace.
Everybody pull up!
Oh!
Well, you have your stealth mod plus 10, so...
So I become a ball of death.
23, so I still got a 24.
Yeah. And you have reliable talent now, don't you?
Nope.
Not yet?
11.
Let's go!
You're an asshole.
Yeah,
This is the stealthiest he has ever felt because of passive penetration.
What is it?
22.
21.
39.
I rolled a 9.
Jesus Christ!
Kenji vanishes.
Stop off at an 11.
Hey, that's what I rolled.
With the plus 10?
He rolled a 2.
I rolled an 11.
Everyone else passed. Everyone passed except Softboss, actually.
And here he comes with the steel chair.
Softboss goes, "Guys, where's the pass without trace field?"
He's spinning outside of it.
Yeah, he trips and falls face first outside of it, and he trying to run as fast as he can back to it.
As you guys walk forward, the promenade takes a turn into the cliff face, and there's a very narrow, sort of entrenched area. The smell of gun smoke kind of lingers around. You can see just barely, you two,
because of your high perception, just barely visible in the early morning light, like red reflection in the hills on top of the sides of the trench.
Like goggles or some visuals or
like predator eyes.
Okay.
These sure are some interesting bandits.
But luckily, the shadows are still long, the light is dim, pass without trace is very good at what it does.
Broken.
And you manage to pass by unseen.
Pass without a trace.
You pass, yes, without trace.
Thank you.
I think we should just use the bypass every obstacle in our way.
Well, nothing can go wrong.
Alright, now you have your choice of entering the dry riverbed or the ruined promenade.
We should go to the ruined
I like
promenade.
Ruin Promenade.
Because we get more info too. More lore tablets.
Right hand rule.
Ms. Chess made some notes. The dry riverbed...
Oh, it's chess?
Chess.
Oh, so it is chess. Like chessboard.
It's actually short for Cheshire, but it's chess. Chess.
Chess.
Cheshire cat.
There she reads some notes about the map. The ruined promenade, she puts lots of treacherous terrain, and with the dry riverbed she puts possible treasure, lots of monsters.
I don't like treacherous terrain. It doesn't affect me.
Nor does it me right now.
I keep walking.
How about we split up and look for clues?
Alright gang, let's split up.
Half of you go to the dry
We've got
riverbed.
10 people, we just split off every time we hit a crossroad, right? That should work.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that actually would work. Bad idea. Don't do it.
5 to the right.
Yeah, how about all four Machina go that way, and all of us go this way?
How about the robot weirdos go that way, and those cool fleshies go that way?
Aw, bye guys.
Leave me alone with anime.
Okay, so we're all stay together and we're going to town the ruined promenade?
Yep.
Okay.
I thought you guys would be more averse to that, because the treasure was said there. What? Come on, don't you want treasure?
Are you okay, Gabe?
I don't like what I have to read.
What? You wrote it!
No,
Cummies, ooh!
it's bad. It depicts a bad thing.
Do you want me to read it?
This promenade looks ruined. Now, I know that's not a surprise to you all because of what this part of the map has been labeled, but I should mention that it looks like it was blown apart in like a battle or like some shit went down here. This isn't decay, right? You know what decay looks like. This is not decay. Chunks are blown apart, stuff has been scattered. You can even find like parts where rubble has been like built up into like cover and then has since fallen down again. It looks like there was a battle here. You pick your way across the treacherous terrain and you find another stone relief hidden in a small kind of alcove out of the large area of destruction. Lots of marble stone.
It looks like a battlefield.
Yeah.
Oh,
You examine the relief.
Of course.
The stone carving seems to depict a single ship arriving from the east. A hulking figure with a spear and a cape seems to be extending a bleeding hand over several people's graves, of which they are seen climbing out of.
Any text?
Nope. It appears to have been destroyed.
I don't think we need text to know it happened there.
No. Oh, it's okay. 25 stares at it for way too long. For way too long.
Still should have given you Dark Blooded people on Tashimon.
No. Fuck no.
Think, you would have expanded westward, eastward. You could have conquered the entire continent. And more.
The sun never sets on the Dark Blood Empire.
That's why it was called the Sleepless Empire. The sun never set on their lands.
And it never sleeps.
Wow. Literal Britain moment.
Rome.
Do you continue?
Yeah, I take way too long, staring at it before moving.
I do have a quick question. Is the spear person, is this the one in the throne room? Or there was someone who had a spear that was very important. That was like a general or higher ranking member.
You were thinking of Radabon.
The one that I killed in our dream.
Does this resemble Radabon?
It's just a silhouette of a large figure with a cloak and a spear.
Those were his two defining features that you would remember from the dream. The guy in the throne room had no spear, but did also have a cloak. But that would be the only similarity.
And there are no like sentinel numbers depicted on here, right?
No.
Alright, and then I will reconvene.
The path down from this area has been entirely ruined. It's like a whole rock slide. You're not sure if it would collapse again on your way down.
Rock slide, more like fire slide, or fire stride, as I use my ability to be immune to magical and non-magical terrain.
Yes.
Like I'll kind of do like the slow like slide down.
You and Kyrie managed to literally fucking carve your way down with her fiery feet to the bottom. But it doesn't look so easy for the rest of you all.
Does Kyrie want to pair up with someone and...
She says, no, I'm good.
You can use word strain as well, right?
It's true.
How so?
Land stride.
When the abilities are useful.
Me wins your ability.
Nimbus is fleet of foot and very nimble. You managed to guide
Nimby.
yourself.
Nimby.
And Animus like clambers down with a combination of your help and several of his arms, which means big boy, Softboss, and 25. And I imagine you actually have. I will still have you roll.
You said it's like rubble, right?
Yeah.
The
main concern is that the rock slide falls again when you're climbing down.
Yeah. Well, here,
like it doesn't look like it's settled.
Here's my idea.
I will almost like sit down and kind of
wait, don't go yet. Hold on, wait a second. Here's an idea. They come down, they're less likely to be affected by it. We all move on for like 2 minutes, then you come down, you just crash down with it, tank the hit, and just move on.
Would you like to climb down, Alistair?
Yeah, I fucking Assassin's Creed this shit.
What?
Neither 2.
+3 from your dad.
That's a 28 plus 2, 30.
Very simple. You and your father both have claws. You don't even need to clamber down in the rocks. You
Parkour.
down.
Alright, so let's...
The two of us are going to like take a few steps apart so we're not side by side, and then kind of...
Softboss looks at you and goes, want to race?
Yeah.
Sure. 25 is not racing. He is very like slowly like taking a step.
3, 2, 1.
The most effective way is just jumping off the side and taking the hit.
Yeah. So
and just
you
kind of
take the hit.
I will do my best to slow the descent as much as possible.
Because you would rather not take the damage.
You don't have your athletics here because there's nothing to hold on to. So you can rock your back.
So it's like a slope down.
It's
right.
A rock slide that has not settled.
Yeah, so I will just kind of like almost sit and just kind of slide down it.
We're all going to get collapsed on.
You don't slide off the rocks. You bump up and down, and they clamber down with you.
Oh, I'm picturing like
break a bark off the tree, sit down on it, and just ride.
No, it's not a smooth surface. It's a giant pile of rubble.
Okay, I will attempt to go down as slowly and nimbly as possible.
Acrobatics.
To cause the least amount of problems. Okay, and then I'm going to use my inspiration from
your oh my god, I'll hold D6.
Oh my god, I'll hold D6.
Oh, we got a whole 1.
A whole 1. It's 15.
Alright. You do not take very much damage, but you still take some. 14. Bloody damage roll.
Not very much. 14. That's
okay.
There's more than the shark.
Let's see how Softboss kills us all by having a rock avalanche.
Softboss. It's like great, like, slowly slides down, and then he slips and falls halfway down and takes some damage.
I thought he'd disturb the rock and just kill it all.
No.
Rock's falling down.
Ouch. 15 took 14. Ouch. Some bullshit. I was careful.
It's a long fall. Why am I looking at initiative?
There is.
Oh, I was looking at the map. That's right. So you have your choice between the old harbor or the ruined township now.
Ruined. If we're going by common denominators for information, Ruined has a show through name with Ruined Promenade, so we should go to the Ruined town to get more info.
Works for me.
By guessing, and we also should look at the map.
Miss Chess has some notes. For both areas, she puts no immediate danger present, but haunted by the sins of its past.
For both of them?
Yes.
And that's the old harbor?
The old harbor and the ruined township.
Harbor in the middle of the Badlands. Was the tide higher before?
You've been following the shoreline.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
Yeah, I mean, you're still on the promenade.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm kind of interested in the harbor, actually.
I don't have a preference.
Because we might see evidence of sentinel boats.
Could be.
After all, it's not like they had any flying machines back then.
Yeah, what a mystery. Alright. So, you follow the road down to the old harbor. Technically it's still part of the promenade, but it's not really a path anymore. It's a whole little area. It's not a pretty sight. Along the shoreline, there are lots of ruined boats. You can't tell if it's from decay or from damage, but almost like a little diorama, there are lots of stone soldiers who have been apparently marching up the shoreline. Some of them are not in very good condition, most of them aren't, in various poses. Some of them are down on the ground, some of them are crawling forward. Lots of them are pulling back as if preparing to punch or throw or stab with something. And the actual buildings, well, it's alright, you can't really call them buildings anymore. Just kind of squares in the sand where you think some straight timbers might have been walls once.
These are the sentinel statues from the throne room?
Yeah, statues. Let's go with that.
Lead description.
Are any of them silvery like you are?
I almost said the N-word again.
No.
No, they're all pretty solid stone.
Okay. So they're
okay, let me rephrase that. There's silver trim. They're mostly stone. He's more silver than stone at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Something kind of itching at the back of your skull there, 25.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you still don't remember anything about this place?
The more steps you take closer, the more kind of it turns into a migraine.
I keep walking.
Time for a recap.
He's being chosen.
I keep walking as the headache gets worse.
You're standing in the center of the harbor now. On your left lies the shore dotted with fallen soldiers, and on your right lies the ruin of what may have been in the past. Which way do you turn to face?
I'll look to the shoreline first.
A single thought occurs to you amidst the silence, which is, it feels weird to be on the other end.
And then I will look back to the ruins.
You almost feel like you've been here before, marching up this shoreline, blood on your hands, people being cut down underneath your fists, buildings being torn down, and behind you, on the ships, which were still afloat in the water, flags of conquest flew, one of which bore the familiar symbol, the toothed shield, belonging to House Conus.
I'll just kind of pause and just try to focus on what memory I do have from the situation, and then trying to think about what happened after this.
Don't you remember? Someone is standing, a shadowy silhouette, one of the houses fell. How could you forget what you did to them?
I don't make eye contact with it. I look in its direction, but my eyes are still on the ground.
You did it to them and you deigned to forget? You can't even carry their memory? they're not that important to you? The sands of time cannot wash the blood off of your hands so easily. And while you look down, your hands outstretched almost as if on their own will, and your hands are covered in red and purple blood, mostly red.
I wish I wouldn't have forgotten, but
you had a choice, it says.
We always have a choice. Am I saying this in my head, preferably speaking?
I don't know, are you?
I would like to be.
Yeah.
I would not like to be saying this out loud.
Can we see him visually dazed, though?
Yeah. It's a familiar sight by now. You know that he's having one of the
episodes.
I'm gonna grab his shoulder.
He's watching season 2, episode 3.
Nimbus grabs your shoulder and it kind of shakes you out of it.
Do my hands go back to normal as I kind of snap out of it, or no?
Yes. But that shadow could not leave.
Thanks, Nimbus.
Stay on the path.
What?
We have to stay on the path.
Okay. Yeah. Which way are we going? That way, right?
Yep.
Animus walks up, forward. We're always going forward.
Right.
And he walks
Don't look back.
Animus actually puts his hand on your shoulder, and then he leaves. He's like, forward. We're always going forward.
Damn, you got jump scared hard.
I was resting my forehead on the edge of the table, so when you hit the table, I felt it in my forehead. I was like, what the fuck? I'm good.
It was like someone woke you up in the middle of
Are
class.
you walking next to your father?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you all continued out of the harbor by now?
I would probably lag behind a little bit. So like once Animus and the other goons make their way, then I'll kind of I'll look up at the shadow and see if it's still there.
It's watching you, and you hear its voice. It's always a choice.
I know. It doesn't mean I always choose right. And then I will turn to start walking.
Your father cuts off the group.
Wait, like...
Yeah, he waits for them to leave and then he cuts off.
Which house
I'm gonna follow
was the banner that was behind you?
There were multiple, but Conus was mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
He walks up past the ruined areas of the harbor where the old building stood, where just the bare remnants of timber suggest that buildings used to be. And he picks his way up a path, up the cliffside, where you see him. How close are you following?
I'm, like, at a distance.
Okay,
I don't...
where he might not see you?
Yeah, because I feel like if he saw me, he'd probably be like, you don't need to see this. And if I asked why, he would just say, trust me, you don't need to see it. And then he would fuck off. So I'm going to stealthily be like...
Up on the cliffside, away from the ruin below, you see what looks like the remnants of a camp. The decay and damage does not look nearly so old as the stuff below. But there is a large palanquin, which is one of those platforms that you carry kings on.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like very large, like 50 men kind of large. Like with mesh, like lattice walls and like a large lush throne on it. Toppled on its side. And there's dark purple stains in the ground surrounding all sides of this camp. Most of the tents look to have been worn away by time or trampled by beasts. It's hard to tell. But your father just stands up there, spits on the ground, and then turns to leave.
I'm gonna cut him off before he can walk back.
He's stealthier than you are.
He has his claws at your throat when you jump at him. As he pulls back just as quickly.
What is this?
Say with me! You don't need to know, he says.
You owe at least this explanation to me.
I never wanted you to have to carry the sins, the weight of our bloodline on your shoulders. That was never fair. Children shouldn't have to deal with this. He says, and he's like shaking.
You realize what I am, correct? What I've become after you left?
I failed you.
No.
And he sits down and like puts his face in his hands. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, son. I failed you.
No, you didn't fail me. This is what I'm good at.
You were never supposed to be good at this.
You never taught me any of this.
Purposefully.
I am inherently good at this.
You don't have to be.
But I am. That's who I am.
He looks down at the ground and he says,
When I was your age, I wanted to be a potterer. I never had the chance to do what I wanted, to live my own life. I wanted that for you and for Armin.
That's what Armin's doing now.
he looks up at you and says, really?
Yeah.
Does he know?
He doesn't know anything about what I do. He thinks I'm a bouncer.
I suppose he's not the same about me.
And he kind of lets out like a cold laugh that gets quickly cut off by his engine sounding off.
It's who we are. Armin is different than us.
I thought you were different too.
I'm not. I became who you were. That's just how it is. Armin's different.
He stands up, kind of like dusts himself off. I'm sorry. And then he leaves.
I'm gonna follow him. I'm just gonna follow him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, I am you. That, like, I know you didn't want me to become like you, but that's how the world works out. I am you, and there's nothing you can do to
You're not me.
That's right, he's not a coward.
Get it?
Yeah.
He takes off his mask, and you see his Darth Vader face again. Right, sunken in flesh, pale, distorted, cut apart, machine implanted within. I'm a monster. I became a monster. So you, and he points the bladed end of his claw at you. Not enough to hurt, but he digs it into your chest a little bit. I became a monster, so you don't have to. And he turns away.
I'm not a monster.
That's what he said.
I know, and the way that I am, that you raised me, I'm not a monster. You didn't fail me in that aspect. You raised me to not be a monster.
No. He says, he kind of stops, he turns his head just so he can profile you. I failed. I didn't raise you. If I had done what was right, you never would have ended up like me.
You can't go back and change that.
I know.
So, let me understand. So
you couldn't. He cuts you off, and then he leaves.
Why is this man so funny? I'm just gonna follow him. I'm gonna follow him back to the group.
You get the feeling that he has built up this image of you over the years, that he's been separate, and that he's struggling to reconcile.
Yeah, he had this image of me and Armin growing up as normal kids and going into normal things.
No, it feels like he's trying to distance himself from you because that's what he expected from you to him.
Oh, he was expecting you to just
hate him.
Hate him.
Whenever you're trying to press your relationship closer, he's pushing you apart. It feels like, I don't know.
He had this predetermined expectation of my own son is going to hate me. He built up that expectation for so long that's how he feels.
Yeah.
And now that the reality is completely different than his expectations, he's not sure.
Yeah.
He prepared himself for rejection, and now he's unprepared, and he doesn't know what to do, so he's just going to fucking roll it.
Yep. As he turns away, he puts the mask back on.
I'm going to walk, very close to him. Like how a kid would walk behind their parent.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Theory time. Well, we all know that the Sentinels were. This is Robert talking, not Kenji, by the way.
Yeah, Kenji walks in and goes, "Hey, Animus, theory time." Animus has been taking pictures of these locations.
Yeah.
Put that out there.
Well, it's pretty easy to tell Sentinels came here, attacked the place, killed everyone, turned them into undead. I think the point with his, not the point, the whole thematic thing going on with his dad is that he ran away and escaped undeath once, but inevitably became undead anyways, and he feels a bit ashamed of that.
Solid theory.
It's less of a theory, more of an attempt to draw the connection.
We will see. Alistair, you and Cahill managed to connect up with the group before anyone notices you're missing. Cast without trace. Crazy cell, huh?
Crazy. They can't find us now.
We are invisible.
Alright, so we pass through the old harbor.
Was that a trace?
Your options now are... So, let me just describe what you see. So now that you've crossed the old harbor, you crest back up over a cliff. Before you lies what looks like a large pit sunken into the ground. In front of it, there was one of those large cross-country bridges that has towers above the landscape. It has several trade roads that run underneath it, nestled throughout the large tower portion of the bridge, and then the bridge itself connects on a cliffside that seems to sink back down into the sunken area. So you got this big crumbling bridge that's multiple miles long, several feet high, and underneath that, running through it, you have the trade roads. Ms. Chetz left some notes. The crumbling bridge liable to bandit attack, high wind warning, treacherous terrain. The trade road say bandit attack almost guaranteed.
I'm fine going through hazardous terrain.
Me too. Won't affect me.
When the skills are useful.
Hey, you're strong and heavy. You won't get picked up by the wind.
Up on the campsite. Before we left, I should have sketched what I was looking at.
Oh, you did do it. You do it before you catch up with your dad.
Fuck your camera.
There are a lot of switchbacks. You can just slide right down.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I sketched the camp, not a recreation of where things were, a tack map, but an actual sketch of just a landscape of it.
Yes.
I don't have a preference.
You're Animus will want a picture of this.
Hey, Animus, come check this out. This is where Kale's fit on something.
Okay. So, which one do we take? The bridge or the roads?
I'm Team Bridge.
I'm Team Bridge.
Team Bridge?
Bridge.
I mean, I'm about even on them, but there was no lure of treasure on for either of them.
We don't have time for combat.
The land seems to heave inwards as you head down towards the bridge. There's a lofty view of the surrounding dead landscape.
High wind warning.
Ignored.
Elsa, your moth cloak is struggling not to get caught in the winds.
Take it off.
No.
Within the bridge, there are more stone carvings.
Lore.
Do we stop to examine them?
25 will.
The stone reliefs seem to depict several ships, a whole fleet arriving from the east. Several tall figures with hoods and tails seem to be directing an army of hulking figures with shields. One in particular, a hooded and tailed figure, is seen breaking a crown and pointing a sword at a man crouching in front of a throne. Surrounding figures are throwing up their arms. It is unclear whether or not it is joy or terror.
Surely it is joy.
Kitty's like, oh, the monarch was overthrown. Surely this is a momentous occasion.
Surely as we remember, surely the families of the people will remember this day for years to come.
25's mood is definitely like heavier than it was before, and he is walking more like slanted with his eyes like kind of down opposed to like up straight as normal, and he takes his time looking over every single one of these.
The reliefs are clear enough now. You can tell that they're in reverse order, the direction you're heading.
Okay. I'm going to keep reading / watching as we keep walking.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's the beginning. The boat showed up.
The boat showed up. Everyone died. They got brought back with the black blood. And what was before that?
They were put to work. Whips.
Yeah, and the city was sunk. Mm-hmm. And the crown was broken. That was the last thing that happened, I think.
The crown was broken.
Subjugated, not broken. If I said broken, that was a mistake on my part. Sorry, no, that's a mistake on my part. The sword is over the crown, it's not breaking it.
Sorry.
This time.
Keep walking.
Are we stealthing?
Was past the tree still going?
Yes. You're at disadvantage though, because of the exposed terrain and high wind.
Okay.
Does disadvantage stack on disadvantage?
Nope. Only your hearts and minds.
Oh, I got a natural 20, but it's wasted with the disadvantage.
What'd you get?
23.
Oh, poor baby!
Pass without a trace, though.
Pass without a trace is a +10, right?
Yeah, I got 28.
What am I supposed to do?
Man, you fuckers don't lose. This is boring.
It's because you
I
just go with the
26.
sauce.
I rolled a 3.
12 with the nat 1.
That's baby. Oh my god, Safa got a 20 before disadvantage? Okay.
Wait, you rolled a double natural 20?
No, he rolled a natural 20 and then he rolled a 7.
Oh.
You pass.
Yay!
Natural 1, baby.
It's not as floppy as last time.
And this time, you see soldiers stationed at the... Maybe not soldiers, it's hard to tell. You see people stationed at the ends of the bridge, right where the road begins to dip into the sunken area. They have like ceremonial armor, but in place of swords, they have guns.
Can we tell from here if they're dark bloods or not?
Their visors are down, and they're fully robed, or armored, so it's difficult to tell.
You say they have guns?
Yes.
I want to kill them all. Fucking cowards.
Then go kill. You're an assassin.
You managed to sneak by them by lowering yourselves down onto the second tier of the bridge.
I'm not raising myself. I raised myself up, and I raised others down.
You guys they climb back up.
I do not put others down.
Alright. We will end there for the day.
Yeah.
Because we're about to enter the city, and thus my preparations are ended.
Did we build this city on rock and roll?
No. Just rock.
Rock.
You about rolled.
Yeah, some heads that got rolled.
Yeah. Go back. Yeah, they rolled and choked your ass.
25 looking at the harbor just like, damn, we were efficient.
Damn! We're good at our jobs.
I like to imagine the 25 is traumatized, and then Anna just walks up and takes a selfie with him.
These man literally suffering from a PTSD-induced flashback.
Hey, I have Nimbus to pull me out of said flashbacks.
This is funny to me that Nimbus has become the leader.
I'm not surprised.
Nimbus.
You're like, I'm not, this is not funny.
This is next
I think
Not funny, didn't laugh.
I think
Now that Schulte's gone, somebody has to pick up the Riz.
hey, it was always implied that you were the leader, but then when we realized that, or when we decided you were going to be the one to survive, it was just like, yeah, let's continue to build her up as the leader, since she'll be the last of us.
Lead it.
Oh, the last one? Part 2?
Lead it, I hardly know it.
Nah, she's the leader.
Not funny, did it last.
Oh boy. Lots
Incredibly entertaining. Did a little chuckle.
Okay.
Me when there is no trauma for Kenji.
Oh. Mom? Yeah, I can't find my phone.
And then I look down and my phone's in my hand.
Hey,
It was
I got to Omaha now.
Why?
and then come back.
My sister has a
Thing that she's doing.
what?
They're always sister dancing.
It feels
Don't laugh at it for he's cringe.
Imagine supporting your younger sibling. Cringe.
Imagine having another sibling.
Caleb, Caleb's gonna.
Hey, bro!
His plan is to go to UNL and scholarship.
That's cute.
Make sure that he really is sure about that. That's pretty hard to tell. That's not
Dad,
fun.
shame you.
Is you also coming today? Hope you had a fun time.
Thank you.
I would say this was a gamer moment.
I was traumatized. Actually, I was the traumatic event. Never mind.
Yeah. Perhaps like...
I am the one
What's the
who's not.
current estimation for when everyone
Dies?
dies arc?
In real time or in session?
Real time.
Well, if we were to meet every week, I'd say we'd have about a month.
Okay, but we're skipping next week, so like June.
A month and a week.
Yeah.
Beginning of June.
Cole, what's that Doom guy?
We're all here this summer, right?
It's just like, the Doom player doesn't
No.
have PTSD.
I'm gonna be dead this summer.
He's traumatic event.
Who's even Blackwood?
We're getting on the Ouija board.
I am
The world's slow TV session.
Okay, Nimbus.
What do you thought?
That was all a joke!
What do you mean nigga was a real word?
Y-G.
Oh no!
You got the out. Robert, just out of nowhere.